Oh, there I am. Hello, everybody. This is a follow-up stream from an earlier stream on Aaron's show where I screwed up. I screwed up this drawing, so I'm going to fix it. See if I can fix it. So I scanned it in, and let's see. And what I got to do, the first thing I got to do is fix the little guy. He's a little guy on a horse, and that's the first thing. First things first. As Jeff Probst always says. So I got my layer. It's locked. I'm unlocking the layer. I'm going to duplicate it twice. Command J twice, and then I'm going to see Option Delete. That gives me white. I just want a white background. I'm going to lock that layer. Okay, let's see if I can fix this guy now. It shouldn't be too hard. Let's see. I'm going to move in and select him and separate. Okay, this is like when you do the selection stuff, you got to like almost hold your breath. Don't screw it up, because then you got to go back. Sometimes a good way to use the selection tool, that's that straight selection tool, that works pretty good. But sometimes it's just good old hand done thing here works good. Okay, and cut. Oops, the wrong layer. That's dumb. Lasso this layer. Okay, cut it, and I'm going to paste it. Edit, paste in place. All right. I don't think he has to be too much bigger, but let's see. About yay big. Maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah, there you go. Still want the horse to be pretty big. Bring it down a little bit there. See, it wasn't so far off. These guys are giving me shit. Aaron and David and Gary. Okay, now I got to fix the screw up here. Hide that. Yeah, I was on Graybeards earlier today. Graybeards is a show that Aaron Lepresti does once a week on Wednesday. And hang on, let me get this. Put these two together first. Merge the layers. And we draw a subject. This week was Wraith of God, which is Aaron's new comic book, the third Wraith of God 3. And so we all drew Wraith of God related stuff. And I made the ill-fated decision to try to draw a horse. Horses are really tough. My horses are actually not that bad, but man, did they sucked not too long ago. So they're so much better than they used to be. Talk about getting old as an artist. I'm such a better artist than I was a couple years ago, and I'm pushing 60. It's just knowledge. You don't burn out like in sports or something. Okay, let's fix this bit here. Now, another criticism I got was that the character was the character was not dark. And I'll fix that too. But I think the head is still a little too large for this guy. That's part of the problem. I want heroic proportions. So I'm going to select the head. This is what's so great about Photoshop is you really can fix a lot of this stuff pretty quickly. I could redraw this, but that would be a pain in the butt. See, that's heroic proportions now. Good. That's what I wanted to do. And it's that fast, that quick. Okay, I'm gonna make this now into a transparent thing because if I colored below it, you can't see it because this layer here is white and black. That's what I scanned in. So how do we get rid of that? Well, it's not super easy, but it's easy if you know how. I'm going to select everything on that frame. I'm going to go down here to this rectangular thing here. Click that. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to select everything, then cut the image out. You can see it's gone. Then I go down here, push this quick layer mask thing. I'm going to paste it back into the layer. Oh, I think I made a mistake here. Let me go back and got to make sure this is all on one layer. Is it all one layer? Okay. I selected everything. I cut it. Put in quick mask mode, and you can tell by the red lettering there, the red layer up here. Paste in place. Take it out of quick mask mode. Invert the selection and pick up nice black and fill it with black. And then deselect it. Now I can color underneath it. And you can see it can shine through. Perfect. Delete that. What's this one on? This layer? I have to fill that with white. That wasn't the problem. Where is it then? It's on this layer. Delete that. Just throw that in garbage. Okay, there's my line work. I'm going to lock that layer. I'm going to label it a blue. I like blue for line. Now I'm going to lock this layer here, just this white. Add a bunch of layers for color. I think I'll make those like a red. Okay, now how do I make this guy, black? Gosh, I wonder if he still needs to be a little larger. Nah, he's fine. He's good. Or does it? Might have to make him just a little bit larger still. Oh, I like this. I like a magnificent horse, large horse. This time I'm going to use the other selection tool just to show you the polygon one. Okay, watch how this one works. Kind of nice. It's actually easier to use the mouse with this because you can get clicks and not accidentally push the button. Focus. Sometimes you screw it up and you have to start all over. So that's no fun. Trying to get it pretty close. Okay. I'm going to cut that, paste it in place in another layer. That automatically puts it in a different layer. And I'm going to make them a little larger. That's good. Yeah, that's a little better. Oh, I'm going to save this, by the way. It's not Judge Dredd. It's Wraith running. I'll call it Wraith running. Wraith running. Save it in my desktop. All right, let me start out by doing a nice. You got to do a flat. To color this thing, you got to do a flat area. So I'll show you what that means when I'm going to make it a real solid color here. So when I color this baby and I lock the layer, it'll only affect the areas that I have made into a color. This is really time consuming and boring sometimes, but it's kind of worth it. You'll see why when it gets to the end, because you need it. I mean, I could just color this really quickly, but if you want to put some tones over it, you have to have a solid piece behind it. Yeah, great. Wraith of God. I'm excited for the new one, 3. The first one was the villain was werewolves. The second one featured vampires. And this new one, he's taking on the headless horseman. So that'll be pretty cool, and a good villain for Wraith, because he's a horseman himself. You know what's better sometimes is to take the opacity down on these guys. Easier to see. Whoops, I don't want to be on that layer. What layer was this? This one probably. Yeah, I got a good tutorial on how to draw horses. I'm still getting better. They're really tough though. But the weirdest thing is when you realize the correlation of the human anatomy to the horse anatomy. It's so strange, but there is a correlation. Like the knee, your human knee is like right here. This is the correlation to the knee. This is your thigh. I mean, and your calf muscle. And this whole part down here is a foot. It kind of looks a little like a foot. You see, you got your heel. There's your heel area right there. So it's a sort of the same anatomy, just distorted and put into a different position, which is interesting, I think. So I'm going to do this with a softer brush in a few minutes, but just getting on the hard lines first. By the way, it looks like we're going to Shantha and Jetty and I are going to do um, a new show. I think we'll be probably starting next week on Monday. But we're going to take on an artist and study him. Now, when you're trying to become a comic artist, you study like very much like you study any subject at all, whether it's music or uh, math and science. You have to study the artwork means you examine it and you try to figure out why what's working with it. Why is it great? What's so what can you learn from it by looking at it and try to incorporate that and learn how to like it's no different when you study art. It's no different than studying music. Learning to draw. It's like you have to play someone else's music first before you play your own music. That's how you learn how to play music. Nobody just sits down and starts playing the piano. Doesn't work like that. Same thing with art. So I want to with Shant, he's an expert on, he's a great teacher and artist himself. I want to look at artists and show you how we study and learn from them. I thought that would be an interesting thing because there's a lot of drawing tutorials out there but they don't really know how to teach it. I don't think sometimes you got to be taught how to study. Now, once I do an outline on this, and it's solid and there's no breaks in it, then I can just select it and fill it. So that's why a lot of people use the um, to do their flats. They use some selection tool, but I don't know. It doesn't have the feel I need, especially since I'm often coloring pencil drawings, like in this case. I don't want it too harsh necessarily, especially in certain places. I should have some music on for doing this sort of thing. Actually, what I like to do often is listen to other people's shows while I'm working on this stuff. I used to listen to talk radio. That's one of the reasons I'm kind of conservative here is because I would listen to Rush Limbaugh and Michael Medved and all these conservative people. And you learn a lot about uh, the values of conservatism, stuff like that. and why government is so dangerous. Okay, let me see. I'll find out in a second here whether I made any mistakes in the breaks in it by picking my magic wand tool. Did I do it? Yeah, I did it. So now what I can do here, because if I just fill this selection, there'll be a line there because I used a brush. So I want to go to up in the top thing here, selection. I'm going to pull down my pull down menu. You won't be able to see this on the screen because you can only see what the thing. That I'm going to expand my selection by about 3 pixels, and then I'm going to fill it. And there you go. Let's see if that worked. Yeah, that's pretty good. I can fix a few places here. Let's try that again right here. Now I've created this. I made this into an action, which an action is a series of commands. So I don't have to go through all these steps when I'm doing this. The action will record your steps, so I can and have a once I select it, I can have it automatically expand it, fill it, and deselect it. Saves you some time. But I'm just doing it now just because I want you to see what's going on with it. Okay, now I'm going to switch to a faded brush for this because I don't want the hair harsh. A flowing mane. Gonna fix this too. The tail. Get my eraser here. These edges a little bit nicer, sharper. That's good enough. I'll fix this, as I go. But what I have now is a pretty good flat. I can lock the layer. Now I think I'm going to take it down in opacity. I do a really bright color so that you can see it. I'm going to take the saturation down. So that's a good place to start. You can see already it's pretty good as far as, looking like a black character color. And now I can either paint right on this, or I can use these. Now that I have a flat, I can use these red layers here. I can create these into clipping masks. So I do a pull down menu and turn them into clipping masks. And this will have the same effect as the lock screen. So I can work right on the character now. One at a time here. Let's see how this horse will look. Kind of try to make him look black. But I still want to see features in the character and the horse. Yeah, I think he has a glowing red eyes or flame. Okay, I'm going to grab a little bit of, maybe I'll grab some greenish blue for highlights here. There's a ring. Hey, Toshiro, hail. Someone in the chat. That's nice. I usually don't do these late night streams, but I had this was kind of crawling on me since this afternoon when I had screwed it up. Well, I didn't. I didn't say screwed up because the process of creating a drawing is a matter of screwing it up and fixing it and adjusting it, and like when people like that death dealer picture I did. It took me a long time. I adjusted, I moved things, I shuffled, you move things around, and let's see what this is looking like. See, it's looking kind of cool. Let me try even more of a highlight. Now, the interesting thing is, okay, I have this clipping mask, and I mentioned now that I have a flat, I can go over it with a multiply layer. Maybe I'll just pick a black, and I can just knock it in like that if that's what I want. We'll do that after I'm done. There's John. John. I drew along today, but I only got the pencils done. I'll post when I finish. Eventually. So just adding these black areas, that's going to make a big difference. It's going to pop this guy out. It's almost done when when you got this far, actually. Yes, John, I'm drawing the Wraith of God. I wonder what the sales are on Wraith of God. I think he did 36 or something like that the first day, which is quite good for a first day. It's about what he did last time. So that's what if you have good, consistent work, people come back, customers come back, and you may add a few customers. can see some areas I missed. I go back and fill those dark areas there. Look how crappy it looks when you get up close. When you're drawing it, you think, "Oh, it's just so sharp and nice," and then you zoom in and magnify it. Like, all right, I kind of forgot what the gun looks like. I have to pull up my reference. I did it once though. I did that trading card for Wraith of God. That was pretty damn cool. Hmm. Yeah, it was a great comic, John. Yes, it was. Yeah, good, solid comic book stuff. It's amazing all the little parts I missed. Yeah, let's see. Shouldn't matter though. That's the funny thing is I'm zooming in and working on these little details and doesn't you won't see it. You just get the gist about Frazetta did great. Great hair, great manes, great great tail feather, all kinds of stuff. Really good stuff. I have to really study them. That's what I mean about studying an artist. You go and you study their what they do about this, how they handle each aspect. Of the art. Okay, let's get some more muscle definition here. Now, it's interesting thing about black horses or tigers or something. They kind of shine, almost like they have a little fur on them. The fur is unusual and it shines in different directions. It's not a reflective surface necessarily. It's reflecting off the fur, but the fur is on an angle, so you're getting an angled reflection, which is a little bit odd. See, now it's a black horse. All that grief I got from those guys. I told them I could fix it. Looks okay. Hang on 1 second here. I thought I was going to sneeze. It passed. Let's see. I think he's got red eyes too. I probably should have looked at the reference before I. started this drawing. The guy looks a little thin. Yeah, maybe he's all right. I guess I don't want to make him. He's not really Conan, is he? Speaking of Conan, yeah, I finally got paid for my Conan illustration I did last year. I kind of had to make a little bit of a stink about it, but sometimes you kind of got to deal a little with that. Take it to the people, so to speak. But Chuck was really gracious. He was like, "Oh, I didn't realize you weren't paid," and he uh, said he would pay for it himself out of his own pocket, which was really incredible. To make sure I got paid. That's what I was hoping for. And it was great. So I don't know if it's going to go to print though. That's the only thing I kind of doubt that. I don't know what happened, why it all fell apart, but it did. But I was really bummed because Chuck Dixon's uh, story, Caravan of the Dam, I read it. It's a great story. Oh, it's so good. Yes, you're glad I'm fixing my art, eh, Paul? Yeah. Yeah, this lousy artist it needed to be corrected, obviously. This guy's making all kinds of mistakes, screwing everything up. Well, Paul's I was shamed into it, though. That's the thing is I was shamed to it by, Aaron and David. David told me I need to start over, so it's good, though. Your best friends are people who will tell you right up front if something's not right. Those are the guys who really, really do care. The people tell you who are yes men. Yeah, it's great, wonderful. It's not always the best pals. The guys who come out and say that sucks. You redo it. That's your best pals. Like, yeah, that's how you get good. You don't get good by never looking at the mistakes you make. Even sometimes from your enemies. That figure looks stupid. Oh, he's right. I'm mad at that guy, but dang it, he's right. Yeah, they accidentally help you. In other words, it's really a funny thing. They're trying to take a shot at you, but they're actually. That's the interesting thing about uh, taking shots at people, especially on the internet. Sometimes when you win, you lose. All right. You can feel the energy and speed. Yeah, that's what I'm. Thank you. I'm trying for that. I'm trying to think of the of the idea was from the start was to try to get this so it's really booking, and I don't know if it's quite there yet. It might be when I do the background. So when I do this, by the way, I'm just holding down the shift key and doing that. Well, I gotta get rid of this line here. Where's the selection tool here? Whoops. I say a lot when I'm drawing. Whoops. That's good though. You need to show people that you make mistakes all the time. You can't learn if you don't make any mistakes. Well, actually, if you don't make any mistakes and you're perfect, that's one thing, but nobody is. So that adds some speed right there. That's the idea. It being in the air, having the shadow down here, puts it in the air. So it's very critical to the look of the speed of the horse. Now it looks like an oil slick, or like he's burning up the thing. So I'm just putting it down here to get some feel. Then I'll pull the white out of it. All right, now I think I'm going to make this a night scene. I'm going to try, see what I don't want it too blue, or maybe I do. I don't know. By the way, I think I'm going to actually pull this in and crop it a little better, a little tighter, just to make it a more interesting illustration. Or do I want it wide like that? That'd be kind of cool. Let's see what works. Maybe about like that. Give it some of that speed. Maybe that's interesting. To not crop it. Rule of thirds there. That's cool. I cut my name off, but doesn't matter. I was going to get rid of my name anyways and do my own logo later. So just get rid of that now. So now it's a black horse, Aaron. All right, I'm going to try a background. Going, which is a full-on blue. Start with. Boom. Might take that down a little bit. The saturation and move the color to a more of a blue. Yeah, like that. Actually, the easiest way to do this is to select that. Gotta go in there or lock that layer. All right, I'm going to give this a blue horizon. Got to make this a big monster brush. now I'm going to put a layer on top of this so I can move these clouds around if I want to. Where's my brushes here? And some puffy clouds. Time for some Bob Ross talk. I'm a little happy. These are happy clouds. Nice little clouds here with the wreath of God, great, flying across the landscape. Killing vampires. Imagine if Bob Ross did comics. Can you imagine that? That'd be fucking cool. He's drawing his trees and stuff and scenes, and he puts a vampire in there. He's a nice little vampire. Attack its victims tonight. Someday AI is going to get that way. Be that way where they can just they'll put that stuff in. That'd be so weird. They probably can do it now. I'm going to do actually all this line work here. Just take it out. Take it all out. Because I'm just paint. I'm going to paint it anyways. I know where I'm going to put the clouds. Still want the line work on the guy. Invert that selection. You know what? I better, before I do that, maybe I'll no, I already have a copy of it. Boom, gone, deleted scenes. So where's my cloud area? We don't want this in front of the clouds. Where's the clouds? See, when I'm doing illustration, I'll label stuff just so you know where everything is. Oh, yeah, headed to bed. Oh, get that beauty rest. Okay, let's see. Now, do I make these, lit from behind or lit from above? That's the question. To be or not to be? That is the question. Because I can do one. Let's just put one over here. And then have it sort of kind of lit on the top. Like, yay. It might be better. Or not. Let's see. Let's see what that looks like. I think I'd rather this one actually because I can go in here and lock this and just kind of take it down. I think I like it a little bit lighter. I should probably make myself, instead of having to go over here to this triangle all the time, make myself a little palette. I can move around. So nice white. There's a blue, kind of a pure blue, a little more of a green blue. What else do I need? This is a. I already got that. That may be it. I may just use these three colors to do the background. What layer is on? It's on its own layer. Okay, well, lock that layer. Now I got a palette. And I can use got my option tool in my Mac. And I can just kind of go in here and grab that and try my cloud tool, cloud layer. Whoops, I still have that. Don't have the soft edge on. Okay, I got to put one up here too. I think I need a black. Let me add to this palette a black. Unlock that layer. Oops, still got that on it. I always do that. I can go a little bit darker to start with. Oh, Marshall Rash is here. Hello. You're very talented at art. I'm getting better. Oh, good. I thought the first said you're very talented at art, but I'm better. Like, okay. That's what you should say. You should have confidence. You're talented at art, but I'm gonna smoke your butt. Let me show you how it's done. That's usually what happens when I use those are the famous last words. When I say, "Let me show you how it's done," that's usually when I screw something up real bad. now we got to do, I think I'll put another layer on this. And but this is going to be pretty easy, frankly. I shouldn't have just said that, should I? Um, well, I know it's pretty easy because well, yeah, I shouldn't say easy. I know I can do it because I've done it before on the other Wraith of God thing. By the way, I should probably bring that up. Maybe I can learn something from it. Looking at its guns, let's see. Wraith, God, and show more. Search an app. The way it's coming up here. Oh, wait, I want to cancel that. Hang on a second. All right. Here it is. There, that's the one I did before. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I can study these guns now. I think I did okay. I forgot to add this second pipe. That was the issue. But I want to try to do just these kind of rocks right here. So I'm really doing the same kind of background. Hey, I should put a moon back there. I do that too often, though. That's the only thing. But yeah, he looks pretty cool. I like this artist. Who does it? That's me. Cool. I didn't screw it up. Okay, so I want it kind of darkish. Okay, now I want to get some rock formations. It's kind of in the background, though. It doesn't have to be too polished there. Yeah, a little few imperfections here in the planes here. Gotta have some rocks in front. Little foreground, middle ground, background type thing. A little thinner brush. This dust looks like crap. Let's see. I fix it. I got to stick with the palette. Okay, where's my background? Here it is. probably should make these dark, really. Let me lock that screen. Go in here with dark and see what happens. Unlock it. Kind of cool because it could be like moonlight. All right, this palette is kind of bugging me. Clouds kind of suck too. Let's see. At least that one on the right does. One on the left is pretty good actually. Oh, Shanth. Hey, how are you? Oh, you put some Indiegogo stuff in. Yeah, for hopefully that's for yeah, Wraith. Hey Shanth, you want to come in? I don't know if you're busy. I'm thinking how right now I'm also thinking, how would Sean paint this? I'm almost like I'm a little bit embarrassed or something like, how's my color palette? Does it suck? Shit. I always feel funny when pro artists watch me work. Amateurs and like they're always mesmerized. Oh, you can do that. And then when the pro guy comes along, like, they kind of like look at, yeah, I wouldn't do that color. Like, oh shit. Oh, sure. Hang on a second. Let's see. I get this invite, copy. Then I go to, let's see how fast I can do this. This is a test. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. Wait a minute. I need my new tab. Going to Twitter. Going to messages. Finding shelf. Dropping it in. Okay. Headed your way, Sean. Headed your way. Okay, I got to put some earphones in, though. Headphones in, I mean. So I can hear him bing when he comes in. Take a drink. A vodka? No, no. That would be bad. Okay, I got some dead space here. Maybe Sean can help me out. I finally had an expert to help me out. I do. Okay, I got to define his guy's shape a little bit, Aaron. That means doing some rendering on him. Rendering on him. Oh, here's where I screwed up with the guns. I gotta go fix it. I forgot the. Well, it's kind of indicated there, but not really. Let's see. Second thing. Okay. Okay, I gotta put some little bit of highlight in here, help him pop them out a little bit, and some red. More red to the eyes. The eyes, like a doll's eyes. Give him some gnarlies here. Now, how do I define the shape up here? That's I want to separate the arm from the horse. How? How? These are see, drawing. These are problems. They're solve. You're a problem solver. I got a problem. Now, how do I get there? I can't really see the line work here, so I'm going to try to lighten it up and then go into the dark. Light to dark, rather than dark to light. Okay. Shant, let me know if you got that through Messenger. You're at the link, you know. Shant. See, I say it correctly. It's the English A. Shant. You don't say like American. Shant. That's awful. An American. Shant. It's Shant. Oh, there we go. He's here.
Yo, what's up, man?
Hey, how are you?
Probably still working, and you know,
Are you working through the night?
I don't think I'm working through the night, but then I never think I'm working through the night. I'm losing track of time, man. I'm on comic skate hours, but I was working on um the intro for the thing that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Um, and
I was talking a little bit about it. Like we're doing a show that's an art study.
well, it's God knows what it is, but at some point there's a dog involved. Listen.
What?
I don't know, man.
Wait a minute.
I'm like going, here's my attitude is push comes to shove. You just set up an hour. We're gonna do an art show on your channel and do whatever. Because whatever this thing is, I'm telling you, it's scary, man. Okay? It's getting terrifying. And I blame you for it.
Okay.
100%.
It's not a party till somebody gets scared. Is that it? Or
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I lost my mind. And that's how it usually goes, though, during this process of shows, And,
yeah.
Let me share
the creative process. It's a delicate process, which is why you really need a good support system. And that's one thing I love. I love about comics. I love about the internet's awful in a lot of ways, but when it's good, it's really good because it's you need a support system to do this kind of work.
Oh,
And
for
you
sure.
can find that with on the internet. You know what people can encourage you and that sort of thing. And you know that's nice. Even if you're just enjoying the art, you just want to do it for fun. You know,
Yeah,
just so you know people can kind of push you along and give you some tips and stuff like that. So
100%, man. Yeah. I mean, it's great. I mean, we both love Comicsgate for that reason. And I think it's also, we were talking about this too. And it's just like, when you're around people who are working and who are doing the stuff for real, um, I don't know that you just learn certain things. Like when we were talking about you and I just working through like camera share stuff and resolution, I could tell immediately when I watched your next stream and it was like really crisp, and this is really crisp, dude. This stream looks great, man.
really, because I'm not doing anything different.
I feel like let me see. You may have adjusted something. Let me just double check.
Oh, you know what?
Don't adjust it now. No,
you?
you had
Oh,
it adjusted last time. Hold on a second.
you,
Let me
you know
go
what
to
it
your stream.
is? You know what it
What?
is? I think it's when I did an interview with what Creative Faye is.
Yeah.
She's in some of the chat, young woman, and she interviewed me, and we were trying to figure out, or maybe, gosh darn, was it you? Maybe we were trying to figure.
I was. Yes, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
You
So
just get back.
I was doing that. Yeah. You and I, right? And we were,
Yeah.
because I was working with her on something too. But yeah, you told me to I was sharing my Cintiq screen
Yep.
versus sharing my Mac screen.
Make sure you're sharing your Mac screen because I just was checking and I'm not sure if you are, but let me just double check.
I'm
Because
saying
your artwork
because
is
what I'm saying is when I was using the display, it had a choice to like what I'm looking at, because I'm mirroring both of the things.
gotcha. Yeah,
And
yeah.
when I'm mirroring them, I was mirroring the Wacom tablet rather than the Cintiq, whatever, rather than mirroring the Mac display.
Yep.
So now that the Mac display is being displayed, is being shown, I think it's a higher resolution.
Yeah.
So that's why it's looking better. So that's cool. Yeah. So there, yeah. You taught me something there. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Yeah, well, I mean, this is an outstanding horse. I was going to come in here to say that. Looks great, man.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I really, when I'm
just
the objective.
Just accept the compliment.
Okay. It's hard for me. Okay.
It's like jujitsu right there, man. You threw me over your shoulder.
So the tough, what I'm trying to do, the objective in this piece is to try to make this horse look like it's just freaking flying,
Yeah.
And how do I do that? I don't really know,
Oof.
But let me, maybe I need to, one of the things I could do is pull the horizon down even more. So one of the things that you want is the air below the horse.
Yeah.
When that's booking, when that's screaming, when you're in the air, that denotes the speed.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to bring this down and do the horizon, because I did a background for their. So I'm gonna pull this down even more here.
So, Two Brother,
get him in the air. Get him in the air.
Has a question. He says, "Can you give good advice to the next generation of artists?"
Yeah, don't become an artist.
I love the way you said that. So
forget about it.
Tommy, go ahead.
Under no circumstances even think about being an artist.
Yeah. What was it? Thomas Hart Benton said, being an artist is the best life in the world if you can survive the first 40 years.
Yeah.
And I absolutely laughed my head off at that. I went, that's true, man.
Yeah. Well, I would recommend being an artist if it was before AI. I'm scared of AI, and it's really serious. You have to really take it seriously, because there's art jobs that are just gone.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Gone. Like if you are if you did your people's, like if you were a person who did art that you put in your friend's face and you made him into Conan, like that was what you did and you spent all day on it and stuff like that. Now you can do that in 2 seconds. So that job is gone.
There's a
And
lot of limitations.
that's concerning, because you have to think about what really, I think that as far as an artist goes, you have to, I think, do what you got to think more about storytelling
Hmm.
and creativity along those lines, because if you're just technically getting good at drawing art, I think technical jobs in a sense will go away. If you're just good at rendering things and that sort of thing, I think you need to be, as an artist, you need to be truly creative. You got to be an idea creator, because AI will have a harder time coming up with original ideas. Do you agree? Or
Oh shoot, man! I was just listening. I'm retired. I'm retired from teaching. No. Oh gosh. I'm gonna go with uh the best advice, or the when someone asked Saul Bass one time, what advice would you give to design students? He said, learn to draw. Because if you don't, you're gonna spend the rest of your life trying to get around that. And I think that's very, very true, because it does help you understand how to see. So no matter what the tools are, you have to have taste to understand things. But the other thing I would say is, the advice I would have for artists is the exact same advice that's worked for, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Every time there's been a new technological thing that we think is going to change the game, of which Dan and I have probably been through a few of those, including the airbrush,
yeah,
and things like that. The people that you see that last know how to draw. It's the weirdest thing. If you give us 5,000 photos of horses and we've got to create an illustration, we know the one to pick. And that's because we know how to see. It's like showing somebody
yep,
a wine
yep,
list with every wine imaginable and then saying to pick a wine. They still need someone to tell them what the wine goes with this, because they don't know.
yeah,
They hire us as experts.
yeah, yeah.
And that's a weird thing. But who's to say? But I'd say, yeah, just learn how to draw, and don't use the tools. How do I put it? Anything that the tools can do is worthless. Anything that the tools can't do has value. So gain rare skills in an area of your interest. Anything you see a lot of people not able to do well or not doing, you're going to probably be able to get money for that. So that's the trick.
Yeah, like even maybe original art creation, that may be something. That's the thing is, well, people made it just desire to have something hand drawn.
Yeah.
Just they don't want the computer or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna probably get a computer that makes it look like I'm doing hand drawings, because this hand drawing
Yeah,
stuff's
yeah,
a lot of work. I mean, they may want it, but come on, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That it's all scary stuff for sure. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I'm kind of excited because the thing that's so weird about it is that we got, like, every time we have a technology jump, we use it for everything, and it all ends up looking the same. Like, I was thinking about, okay, so you got, now I'm a beginner drawer. Okay. So
hmm
here's something that Dan and I, if you're interested in comics in particular, but maybe even if you're not, I'm going to give advice that's probably been being given for 30 years or so. Oh God, not 30 years. What am I saying? 50 years now or whatever, probably. Pick up a book called How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way.
Oh
That's
yeah,
a great place to start, right?
great place to start. Yeah, covers all the basics.
Yep.
Or you could just go to the channel called Dan Lawless, How to Draw Comic Books by Dan Lawless.
How can
He
someone find a
also
channel like that, Dan?
really, that I heard good things about it. Like it's like really
Are
good.
you subscribed to this channel? Make sure you're subscribed, and make sure you click the bell for notifications, so you're always getting Dan's latest videos. It's a mistake a
Yeah.
lot of people make, but it's an important one not to make.
By the way, here's something, and few people have taken me up on it, and no one actually really. Uh, is if you want me to critique your work, I will. And if you put it up on Twitter, uh, I mean, it has to be a certain level. It's, not just like a stick drawing or something, but if you're really serious and you're trying to, figure out why something doesn't look quite right, I can help it out. And I'm nice. Yeah, everyone thinks I'm going to be mean. I'm not going to be mean. I'm very gentle with, because actually, when you look at any piece of artwork, the first thing is there's something good about it. Usually, you know what I'm saying, and it's going in the right direction. So I'm, in a sense, I'm kind of looking for students. You know what I mean?
Huh.
Um,
I'm moving in the opposite direction, Dan. And I love you. I
Get
respect
the
you.
hell away
But
from
it's
me.
like, yeah, here's what I'd say. Never ask me for a critique because I'll just destroy it. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it in a loving way. I will just go straight at it and I won't do it anyway. So don't worry. I'm not going to critique anything. I kind of took a vow. I took a vow to quote Key and Peele, never to kill again. But I mean, I taught for 18 years and I used to look at stuff and I've looked at work so much and I've critiqued so much work and everything like that. And I'll tell you this is that, and this is the best advice I give anybody about critiquing is how do I word it? When I look at a portfolio that somebody shows me, and this is something that should scare people just in general, because I think that I'm not alone in this. I can tell how hard somebody works in terms of to get better. You can just tell. It's not the same thing as I have this one piece I've overworked forever, or I've got this one precious thing. And I bet you that even the most novice artist amongst you guys, it's harder with YouTube because there's a lot of people who are doing all kinds of things to make it look like they know how to draw and how to do things.
Mhm.
But people who know how to draw can spot people who are up and coming and really interested in learning how to draw. And you just have to study. You have to study and practice and study and practice and study and practice. And sometimes I think that how do I put it? There's how do I put it? Before I ever showed my work for critique, um, and it's a very strange thing, but we kind of were taught like make sure it's good enough for critique, if that makes sense,
No, I
right?
just
Like
said
you
that. Yeah,
shouldn't.
you don't want to just put
Oh
up
yeah, no,
junk.
I'm
Yeah.
reiterating what you said,
Yeah.
And but how would you define that level, Dan? Like when you're looking at something, it's what is that? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like I mean,
the tough
what?
thing is some people don't know that's not that good. But,
Yeah,
well, now a good critique person, a good instructor will be able to see the potential. Now, see, I'm much more wise than I used to be as far as that goes. Like, I think that if this is what I'm afraid of, Shantha, is I would have never hired Todd McFarlane, when I
yeah.
was at Marvel. If I was the editor there, I would not have, and people would have lost Todd McFarlane because I would have insisted that he couldn't draw. Uh, and that's kind of tough. You know what I mean? Like the realization, shit, I know I would have screwed that up.
No, you
So
wouldn't have. You
uh,
wouldn't have, Dan.
I'm much wiser now when I see a style. I try to look at something, even if the person, they can't draw traditionally, but they got energy, they got power, they got, I'm sure I would have said the same thing about Liefeld. I would have said, no, you're not there yet. Well, actually, no. I think he had some really good stuff, qualities to his work, but
I think with
a lot of
Todd
these guys I
McFarlane,
would have shot
he
down, I
would have
think.
listened to you, and that's what would have made it happen. I think you would have because you have such a positive attitude. A young Todd McFarlane, not Todd now, but a Todd when he was this, when he was living in the trailer, putting himself through school with a baseball and janitorial scholarship, and he came into the office and he's like, Mr. Lawless, would you look at my work and what do I need to work on? Then you tell him you need to fix this, this, and this, and then he comes back with those things fixed. And how about now? I think he would have been like, I'll give the kid a chance. I
Maybe,
don't doubt that for a second
maybe.
because you respond to work ethic very well. I think could
I
be wrong, but
I think, maybe, yeah. I'm afraid
or
of
you
that.
might have just taken him out
Now
back.
I think I'm much more confident that now I would, but back then
Yeah,
I don't know. Because for me, what art school was kind of like was how real can you draw? You know what I mean? It was
yeah.
all about realism.
I wish I'd had that. I got nothing, man. God, they were terrible. They hated it. Ugh, it's all
But I
postmodern.
now I'm much more, wise about realism is not really, because you look at a lot of, some of these guys that are, um, uh, they like take a style like maybe like Ethan's or something, and it's like it's very linear,
Yeah,
and you're not always realistic, but the imperfections are the perfections.
yeah,
And that's what I've learned in art is you think that, oh, it's it isn't drawn exactly right, because I've seen people, kind of enemies of Ethan, get online and go, that neck looks too long, and I'll defend it. I'll say,
yeah,
no, actually, this is exaggeration. These are comic book exaggerations, and that neck or something is just right. It's really actually quite good,
yeah.
but they, they're trying to find stuff wrong with it, but it's like realism isn't always right.
Yeah, I'll see you and I'll
Strange
match
thing.
you with something that I can honestly say would probably been the case. And I'm talking like in his prime back in the day. I wonder if I would have hired Jack Kirby.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that's weird. Yeah.
Think about that. Like, I mean, I'm saying if he wasn't Jack Kirby, I didn't know his stuff. And I mean, I think it was because I was reading this book, this history book called The Comic Book Heroes. And they were talking in that book the history of comic people, and what the joke at the DC offices was the secret to Marvel's success was bad art, which interestingly was the same thing Marvel said about Image's success in the 90s. So in the 60s, DC said it about them. And
Ah.
it's, it's, I think it's a natural thing. And I mean, just people always try to, like when I look at Ethan's stuff, the thing that, because I think I can't really remember, um, but I'm sure I saw Cyberfrog in Wizard magazine in ads when I was a kid, without a doubt. But the first time I actually knew Ethan and knew his work was I knew him through the Fandom Menace and Star Wars reviews. And so I came to his work when he really had locked his stuff in. He
Yeah.
locked his drawing in. He knew as a designer, as a concept, a concept. I don't say I hate that because conceptualism is just fine arts to me, but as someone with brilliant ideas and an imagination that could put it into put it towards practical purpose, he's just there. And I think that Cyberfrog, his ability to create a convincing world, I think it was Akira Kurosawa maybe who coined the term, um, creating an immaculate reality, which is to say that it's not that everything has to be totally accurate, although sometimes it does, but the audience believes the space you create. So they believe they're in feudal Japan, even though it's the 50s. They believe they're in space in Star Wars. And George Lucas repeated that a lot, create an immaculate reality, dirty up the spaceships, all that kind of stuff. And I just think that Ethan creates a really amazing immaculate reality in his world. Dale Keown obviously creates an immaculate reality in his world. It just
Mhm.
depends. Aaron
So I
Lopresti,
call it almost a surrealism, super
yes,
realism.
yep, it's amazing, man. I just realized I got to do some work here. Hang on a second. I'm like, I got to be dropping links um, in your chat. So let's put that together. I'm like, I better get
Okay,
on.
I'm gonna share, actually.
Wraith of God 3. There we go. I'm going to post that because I have the link to Wraith of God pasted already. So I want to make sure I get that in there. Where the heck did I put that?
Here's a series of Ethan's stuff. Now, we're familiar with Cyberfrog, right? But look at his actual comic book, his figure work. This
Yep.
is really, really interesting stuff. I see this and I think, man, why don't you do a superhero? It would be so cool. But I'm happy. I mean, totally happy with Cyberpunk. I think it's great. But I kind of miss it. Like looking at this. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's beautiful stuff, man. Well, I mean, one of the things I think is very strong in a lot of the books that I like in Comicsgate right now is the wide shot game. Like that shot you just showed of the cityscape with all that going on. Shane's done
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
killer stuff with Inglorious. Um, I've just been seeing some people really, throw down with those wide shots. There's one of my favorite shots from Blood Honey
Look at this one, the
was,
Scarecrow.
oh yeah, man.
Isn't that great?
Yep. Or is it, no, it's Wrecked Planet. God, I always get them backwards. Now I've got to look it up because I feel like I've lost my mind. Which one is the first Cyberfrog book?
See, I'd love to see him do this on one of his characters. Like, gosh, is that good?
Yeah, he's good. What can you say? I think that kid's going places. I've said it for years.
You think so? I think he's got
yeah,
a future?
I think he might be an iconic. No, it was Blood Honey. I was right. Okay, so it was Blood Honey. So, in Blood Honey, there's a shot
awesome.
when that's awesome. I love. See, here's the thing, right? I know one of his. He was saying when he said this, it totally made sense to me. But Ethan's got his own thing going, so that's kind of the cool thing about it. But he was going, I'm a hugely. I'm love Brian Bolland's work. He's a huge inspiration to me and influence to me. And
yeah,
the thing
I'm glad because he started out as a McFarlane clone, And,
yeah, so did I, man.
yeah. And he did it well too. I thought he did, although man, your speedball stuff is I think it's
fun.
It's really good.
But his stuff right here reminds me of Bolland's British work, like the Judge Dredd stuff and the Judge Death, like just he does this kind of really cool. This is the thing, right? If I could say there's one thing that is the skill that you need if you're interested in comics of any sort, and I think you and I talked about this last time we were talking, is the you have to know how to cartoon, and that's a powerful thing. Cartooning, like that's cartooned, that's brilliant cartooning, but it's rendered, but it's brilliant cartooning.
Look, this has even got some looseness here. He could get away with looseness if he wants to.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. He it's like he was at the gym, in a sense, doing all of this stuff, and he's drawing everything and given what as much as you can give on the books with the frequency that those things have to be put out with, and now when he came to Cyberfrog, it's like
this is his art. Is this his art?
Is that his? Let me see. I'm trying to remember if that was his. I can't tell from the resolution.
Kind of looks like it.
Maybe. Let me see.
These are getting pretty small. But...
yeah, I was just looking. Yeah. Oh, Oswin says, I have one Judge Dredd book, fantastic art. Yeah, Bolland is nuts, and his Dredd stuff's crazy. Really yeah, man. There's the cartooning right there. Not anybody could step into that space and do it.
Yeah. See, now why is this so cool? Like looking at this stuff, you could do a study on Ethan, I tell you. Thin lines. See all these thin lines he's put in, it's that, thick and thin, and it really is rendered really, really nicely. And that's, the line work is just spot on. Great stuff.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I wouldn't wish the stuff that cancellation wise and all that stuff that happened to Ethan on my worst enemy. I mean, it's a terrible, thing. But the thing about it is that his not only did his fans, as he said, it was like a trust fall, for him and Andrea. Not only did his fans catch him, but the biggest thing is his talent, his ingenuity, and everything. Like I think his influence on comics is going to be significant when people are looking back. I mean, obviously significant, but I mean in terms of the indie space, is going to be as important as the Eastman and Laird, the black and white boom, but the Image founders in that sense, that significant of a person stepping away and building what he's built here in CG is pretty damn amazing. And his talent, I mean, his skill, man, all we do at the end of the day is fall back on our skill, man. Like watching you draw that horse earlier. And I'm just like, because I caught up, I've been freaking battling a migraine, man, but I woke up and I saw that I'd missed Graybeards. I'd missed all these different things that were going on. So I just went through and I just scrolled through Graybeards and I watched you scratch build that horse. And I was like, dang, man, it's great.
So what do you think of this X-Men cover? I love it.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? Oh,
man. I mean, it's depressing because we're not there anymore. It's like knowing where things go. But yeah, I mean, Actually, I should say this. I gotta stop saying that. I'm so glad there's a place where you can still get comics like that, and it's called Comicsgate. That's what I'll say. But yeah, I mean, it's like they had all this talent, man.
Yep.
They had all this talent.
Well, it
It's
was a
it's
happy
insane.
accident because, I mean, what's that, you gotta break up through a few eggs.
Yep.
It's like this
Can't
is
make an omelet without
yeah, look at
breaking a
this
few
stuff.
eggs.
This is like a fiendish kind of,
Yeah.
preludes.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool, man. That is
Yeah. I gotta
so
love the way that's
dang
coming apart.
cool.
Yeah,
See,
man.
I didn't even know this about I saw Cyberpunk first. That's the first thing I really saw of his work.
Yeah.
Then he started posting some of the stuff, some of this black and white stuff, and I'm like, wow, this is really, really good. So
Yeah.
it's exciting. I love being a part of a group of people that are just so dang talented.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I was telling Lauren the other day we were actually it's probably today for all I know because the days blended together. But I was talking to my wife and I said, you know, you know, however things ever go in these things, I'm because it's weird. You take these leaps of faith. Um, I'm finally around people who have knowledge and skill, and I've when I've done concept art jobs and all that stuff, it's great. But if you like, you should only do comics if you have no choice. I'll say that over and over again. Like comics is just it chooses you. I've done drawn comics since I was 12 or 11. I think I sent off my first submissions packages when I was like 11. Um, and called up the area code of New York, and then I forget what it was like 5551212. I think it
I
was
think I did that too.
back in the day. And I asked them for their address, and they must have thought I was like cute as a button. I was like 11 or 12, and they wrote me back a handwritten rejection letter, and I was like, "What?" It was so funny to think about because it was such a nice thing to do.
Yeah,
Way like they did not
back
have to
when
do
they
that.
cared about their fans and they to do
Yeah,
such a
back
thing.
when they cared, but the person was like, giving me advice, and it was great. And um, but so it's in a lot of ways, I've kind of tried to um because I have two children, two adult children now, as you know, that kind of journey.
Mhm.
And I've tried for, their entire lives and still to this day, to be a present dad, to be there and do the things that are best, for them. And, you can't when a comic book opportunity comes up and you've got twin 11-month-olds, it's not the time. Like you could try it, but you
Yeah.
just don't have that time. And
Yeah, that's what
all
I
that
meant about,
time
like,
I
the
was
the
working at it.
support system. You are
Yeah,
the support system at that point. You gotta
that's right. That's
'cause
right.
that's what happened to me. I left the comic book industry to raise a family, and,
Yep.
I went into advertising because that I needed to bring home the bacon,
Yeah.
and I did, and,
Went into
I don't
teaching.
regret
Did
it. I
the same
don't
old,
regret it
same
at
old.
all. It's 'cause it was really
Same here. Yeah.
honestly, I love comic books, but it's a different kind of love. You can take all my comics and throw them in the trash compared to family and loved ones.
Well, yeah, I think that
So
goes for any sane
yeah.
person.
Yeah, so I'm just
Yeah.
saying, it's not like 'cause I don't know, some people, I'd rather have that career than raise a family. I'm like, "Not for me."
No way. Yeah. I listen. Even Walt Disney, man, who I consider to be one of the most important people in the history of American pop cultural entertainment, maybe next to Carl Laemmle Sr., the founder of Universal Pictures, for God's sake. But I think that Walt Disney said, "Oh God, I now need the exact quote because it was a great quote."
Oh, you looking for it now?
Uh-huh. Yep. Because
Got
I
dead
won't
air.
misquote it because it's so good. Um, it's way too good. Let's see. Where the hell is it? This is gonna be annoying. Because now it's the company. Uh, Shoot, this is gonna piss me off. Um,
Got this in the wrong layer. Okay. I always do it. You ever paint on the well, you don't paint on the,
I do.
computer,
Yeah, I
but
do.
but half the time I'll do something and then it's on the wrong layer, and I have to completely redo it or I have to cut it and paste it onto the layer and do all kinds of splicing because I just didn't do it right.
So here's some Disney quotes for everybody who's was asking about art advice. I see my brother Rocky in the chat. What's up,
Oh,
Rocky? I know
Rocky's
you're
here.
subscribed to Dan's channel, but please, if you're not, please make sure you are. Here you go. Here's my favorite quotes on everything here. Let's go some Disney quotes here. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. This one I love. It's kind of fun to do the impossible. When you believe in a thing, believe in it all the way, implicitly and unquestionable. Here's one. All the adversity I've had in my life, all my troubles and obstacles have strengthened me. You may not realize it when it happens, but a kick in the teeth may be the best thing in the world for you.
Yeah,
Wow.
could we talk about comics? Yeah, there,
You got it. We were just, that man is, you know,
Yep.
um, yeah, it's amazing how these people know, um, just that they sort of, oh yeah, here you go. Here's his rule about the Walt Disney Studio. Are you ready? You're gonna
Yeah.
love this. We allow no geniuses around our studio.
Let me think of that one. Is it ego? Is that what the idea
It's
is?
what he's talking about. If
Yeah.
you think you're a genius, we know you can't work.
Hmm.
We're making geniuses, but we're not. If you think you're a genius, you got no place here. And he used to talk
Yeah.
about this when someone would raise their hand at a meeting and say, I've got a great idea. And Walt would cut him off and say, you have an idea. We'll tell you if it's a great idea or not.
Yeah.
But let me see here. We did this, blah blah. We've created. I do not. Uh, gosh, where's that great? It's one of the best quotes of things. Hmm.
All right, this is coming along okay.
It's looking great, dude.
The thing is now, see, what I often do with a painting is I'll push it a little harder, and
Yeah.
then I just create another layer, create a clippy mask on that thing, and a multiply. And the fun thing is you can add, like, okay, let's say I'm going to take a green and just plop in a green, something like that.
Yep.
And now I can do the opacity on it. So maybe I
So
didn't like it too gray, and I'm adding some color.
I love. It's just glazing. That's what's so cool about it.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's like it's glazing. Yeah.
Yep.
But I should
Here's the
probably
quote for
take
you,
out.
Dan.
You know what I need to do is take out the eyes
Oh yeah, yeah.
and put that in a different layer. I always kind of like it
Oh, I
when
see what
when
you're
you
saying.
when you pull off the background and you just have the figure only.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of you ever do that where it's like, why does it look so cool when
Oh, dude, man, come on
when
now.
when it's just a figure. I don't know. Sometimes when
Dude,
you
you
add a
gotta do
background,
me. You gotta do me one favor though, real quick, man. I know you
okay,
probably already got your shit figured out, man. But like, if you can grab like put a layer between the foreground, the horse and the guy, and the background,
yeah,
and then just like I'm trying to think of how I would describe this, but behind the drawing and the horse in the background, that whole big solid blue,
mhm.
and hit it with like an orangish kind of wash. I feel like I want to say over that, like a sunset kind of
Okay. Let me see
warmth.
what happens when
I'm just like that
I know because you're the
silhouette.
color expert. I'm gonna trust
No,
you.
I'm not a color expert. I just am. This is you got me stoked. You got me
No,
excited.
really, your color palette is quite amazing on all your work. So what do I do then? Do I
Okay, now adjust
opacity?
that yellower, warmer, and like grossly light though. Make it. You start with something grotesquely yellow orange, like after nuclear war. This and the
Uh,
cockroaches. That color will school bus like to orangish school bus. It's gonna feel
oops.
like nauseating.
hang on. I just popped this thing out here. So I got my orange, and I got it. This is at 100%.
Okay, now
I'm
push
lowering
it
the
yellower
opacity
and
on it.
saturate it in hue if you can do that in that. I don't know if that works.
I,
Are you in
I'm I'm
Photoshop?
lowering the opacity. I mean, should I just keep it full strength or what?
Um, instead of lowering the opacity, are you in Photoshop? Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay, go to where it's normal
yep.
on that layer and just scroll through the options. I just am curious what it'll do because
Screen, multiply, color burn.
I'll keep going lower. It's gonna be the crazy stuff. That's way too much. But see, like, okay, so fuck, dude, that's craziness, man. Okay, wait,
Yeah,
now
yeah.
so leave it
Yeah.
there. This is nuts, but leave it there
Okay.
now. Take that, duplicate that layer, and multiply it. I just want to see what happens. So take the orange and switch it to multiplied instead of
And
color
then do a
dodge,
multiply. Yeah.
and then lighten that up, like make opacity on that, like lighten
Everything
that
or
up.
all or both layers?
Oh no, just the top layer, just 13 copy. Just like adjust the opacity and like I still think it's the layer below needs to, be less pink and more yellow. Maybe bucket fill that multiplied layer yellow. That might do it too. The layer above, but I mean it's like, dude, that's got to be oh man, the silhouette on this thing is sick, dude. I'm not saying that's the answer, but I'm looking at him just going like, look at how nuts like he is like the I mean, I probably would work best as like a sunset thing, you know what I mean? And so it's darker, blue purplish as it goes up or something like that. In if for this type of effect, but there is something like that horse moves. That horse is flying, dude. I love color. I love color, man. It's just there's so much craziness
There's your
that
sunset guy.
you know what I mean? Like it's like this is like you take you've already got them actually because it's all you got to do is erase out of this layer. But that foreground, where there's that orange in the bottom right hand, if that gets to be a little bit darker purple, like it's in silhouette as it gets closer, as it gets more contrasty, this
Okay,
is
what I
like
can do is
oh,
create a
it's
layer
sweet.
mask and then paint it in.
I mean, yeah, Dan, you're it's John Ford. See that you were asking me about this kind of stuff. For me, I love movies. I look at John Ford. I look at just every kind of movie. I'm trying to think of who I look at for horses. I look at Lucy Kemp Welsh for horses. You know what I mean? It's like that's the stuff I love. But man, like there's this nasty kind of what I
Let me
like
try.
about I love
I'm
about
gonna group these two together.
yeah.
Wait a minute. Okay, are they grouped? No, wait a minute. Gotta drag them in there. Okay, I'm gonna see what happens when I lower opacity on this stuff. Just curious.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, it's like oh, see, like it's if you lower I liked where you had it right there. If you lowered the opacity so it's dark, right, and then drop another layer of it on top so it gets warmer, but erase the top out, like so that it gets warmer as it goes down a little bit, but cooler as it goes up. Either way, dude, look at. I think the strength of this piece, like if this piece is like a poem to silhouette. It's like it's
Yeah.
see, listen, this is why I can't teach anymore because it's true. It's like I can't do it anymore. It's like it's I love it too much. I'm not like your boy Zach, I'm not. I love comics, but I don't love Marvel. I don't love they're fine. I don't hate them, but I will protect comics over any particular property. I will protect, creators over any particular property. But when it
Hey,
comes to
can you
teaching,
take over the show?
sure, of course, man.
'Cause I am going to go just do a quick break.
Okay,
Hang
go
on a
to it,
second.
man. I'm here. What's up, guys? Um, oh, sorry, Rocky. Go back to Jason. Shanth is ignoring the chat. Says awesome one. How rude, awesome one. Yo, Rocky's is awesome one. Awesome one. You have to now put more in the chat. If you're gonna say I'm ignoring the chat, sleeping psychopathy says, um, think of all those windows. Yes, on that particular wide shot piece, that was some fantastic stuff. That was some fantastic stuff. I love that stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's the thing that is so fun to me about what we can do here, and maybe I just need to get into it more. I don't know, guys. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss in terms of um and maybe I should, start taking some of my own advice. But it's like I'm at a loss about, the where to proceed, because I not just in just a lot of different ways, because I absolutely loved teaching. And people always go, you should teach, you love teaching. But I go, but yeah, but you know what? It's when you get burnt out from something, and I don't mean burnt out when you get, when you get raked over the coals by something, you kind of got to take a knee. And that's very much, the place that I was in, when I came, and still am in when I come into CG. I just want to be able to talk about art with people who like it, but I just don't think I saw some stuff in terms of what people were doing with the knowledge that left me feeling a little bit like I don't know if I'm thrilled about thrilled about people getting successful and then being into cancel culture. I don't know if I want to make the next generation of cancelers if that's what this whole thing starts to turn into. And that's rough, man. That's a rough thing. And it's weird when I get with Dan, we talk, man. It's okay. Your stories are cool. This is awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, man. You crack me up. You have free time now. Yeah, I do. That's true. Because we get to this point where, at least for me, I get to spend time with my wife right now. I get to spend time, painting and hanging out with you guys. And it's weird. I lived most of my life. I lived in service um, of other people as a teacher. It's great. It's a great profession for that. Um, but I would say that you do get to a point to where you just kind of think, all of this knowledge, like, and granted, I think it's just burnout. A lot of people get burnt out from it, but I kind of go in full tilt and gave a lot into the education thing, and I just didn't like the infrastructure. And maybe that's what it is. That's what this place is about, what we're doing here, whether we know it or not. Maybe we're creating a new infrastructure, but it's like, it's got to, I'm just to say it right now, it's got to pay, because that was the problem with teaching. It's one thing to not have any security and all of that other stuff that comes along with it. But, you just want to make sure it's something that's not like you throwing your family's life away. And that's the thing that's been kind of tricky about it,
So how do I get this thing to be nighttime? Really, like
I am
night.
I'm sketching something right now because it's probably going to be terrible, but I'm just because I can't. You know what this is? This is the thing when artists get together, right? There's things that, like, how do you explain visual things? Like, we draw them. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, we don't just go, so I'm thinking about a 30% this and a 40% this. Like, it's not how it
Yeah.
works. We have our own, like, little, like, thank God for Brian Stelfrey. So I went off to art school. Let me talk a little bit more positive here. I went off to art school and nobody knew anything. Now, I don't mean for that to sound bad, but barely any of my teachers actually knew how to draw or do anything. And then I met Brian Stelfreeze, and he stopped talking and he started showing me things, demos, and, like, this is how perspective works and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it changed everything for me. And I went, wow, these people don't know what they're doing. And I want to be able to be a teacher that's like that. You know what I mean? That like Brian Stelfreeze, like, that does that. And so I brought so much of what I got at Gaijin Studios, both, kind of where I was, pseudo interning there, but also just learning from Adam Hughes and, and Brian and all those guys. Jason Pearson,
Wait,
God
you
rest
learned from
him.
Adam Hughes?
Well, I mean, did not directly. I mean, I was next to his office, and he would kindly show me things, but you can't learn from a magician.
No, I'm saying, but you actually had personal contact with Adam Hughes.
Yes, of course. Yeah, yeah. He met my wife. Yeah, when she was my girlfriend, I brought her down from college. Super
Okay.
nice guy. One of the nicest guys. And Brian was I last time I saw Brian was right before the lockdowns because he came up to talk at the college. I was like, one of my goals was to have him come up. I even filmed it. It's on my Vimeo. But yeah, took him around, and yeah, that guy's gold in my book forever. And all those guys were generous with me when they didn't have to be. I was an annoying, college kid, and just every college kid's annoying. I was not
Yeah.
trying to be, but I'm sure I was. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
God help us. But I looked up to those guys so much. They were so thoughtful. Adam let me photocopy. I have it actually right over there. All of his pencils for X-Men Wildcats
Really?
Silver Age or Modern Age. I have the pencils photocopied right over there. I said, "Can I photocopy all these?" He's like, "Sure."
Wow.
Yep. It's pretty wild.
That's really nice.
So to say he's a nice guy is an understatement. And I still, when I saw him the last couple of times, I saw him at conventions. I'd always say, "Hey man, I would love to have you come up to the college and everything like that." Just a terrific dude. Can't say enough good things about those guys. I mean, they were generous with their time, and I think one of the things Brian said that I thought was really, it may sound crazy, but it speaks to what we were talking about a little bit before, in terms of it's like it's kind of a touching thing. Is I said to Brian, Brian, I've been wanting to ask you this for years. I was like, why did you help me, man? Like, why did you mentor me and let me come there? He goes, we didn't offer anything to you. We didn't offer to everybody who came in the studio. Everybody who came in the studio had a chance to be torn to shreds. And we tore you to shreds.
Yeah.
What you proved is that you could hang with us. That's why we helped you, is because you stayed. You were the kid who came back. And I went, oh, thank you. I can now go to my grave with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for answering that question. Yeah, he's an amazing dude. Yeah. And he doesn't
Now
suffer fools.
I can pop these eyes out a little better now.
So yeah, like I was trying to. This isn't gonna work. Oh fuck. Anyway, all right. Let me see if this makes sense here. I'm gonna.
Wraith of God is an interesting character because
Yeah.
less is more. When you have to. If you don't, it's funny. I just left that sun on the horizon, and now it's kind of like it's a it's a moon coming out over the. That's an interesting. You don't think of a
It's
moon.
an interesting, dude. The moon
don't
rising.
Think of a moon as setting, right?
Yeah, but see the moon rise in like it can be a very cool thing. So share my screen or put it on screen with yours or however the heck it works. I don't know how it works, but this is what I was trying to kind of talk about, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What I was thinking is you got this blue, beautiful. It's like it's the greatest silhouette ever, and I'm gonna put this way too high. I'm gonna make this ridiculous, but it's like you put something flying through space right here, right? I'm using my trackpad, so forgive me, but it's like you put something in that space. Actually, what I should have done. Let me do this. Edit. Redo brush tool. What I should have done was done, blah blah blah. This is so god awful. But getting the, horse is running, blah blah. Figure on horse, and but what I was thinking is that it's like, you got this, and then let me just adjust the opacity so it's not totally ludicrous, but just the idea of what you've done in this piece. If you start, moving some dark notes, which you're doing already anyway, but dark notes up front, some rocks here, in the foreground, you can start to create that really great space. And then you've got, I mean, to me, I like your color palette you're doing right now better anyway, but it's like that potential for a freaking moonrise is sick, dude. Get some freaking stars and we're all over the Wild West. But
I never thought of it though. Just now, it's a happy accident because you have you have a sunrise, but why not a moonrise? Cool,
You know what I mean?
See, I'm afraid that I put too many moons in my work though. Like I did for Private American, I had one. I think I did a Vampire. I had one. It's an
maybe you like moons.
It's an easy kind of a fix. I mean, it's an easy design element.
It's the best, man.
But it
It's like,
works.
listen, man. Look, I gotta say, Sean, why quit? Make a moving gif. I know I should. But it's like I was thinking about this. Um, oh my gosh,
Well,
like,
by the way, here's my card. Remember the card I did?
yep,
And, it's kind of that palette, you know?
yep, and it's beautiful. Look at this though. I got my Frazetta canvas print on the wall. You know this
Oh,
piece, the
hang
two
on, let's see.
figures and
How do
the
I make you
planet behind them.
big?
You know, oh, you know
Wait a
what I
minute,
mean.
wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, not yet. Let's see. I'm getting there.
You know this
Okay,
one.
okay, I'm big though. Whoa.
This is one of my canvas prints that I
Yeah.
have, like, of, just you can get these anywhere. And I look at this stuff and I just go, I love the way that Frazetta uses, if this will hang on the wall again, the way he uses the planets and the circles. I do that tons in Nosfero.
Yeah,
About the only
yeah.
piece I haven't done it on is this piece I'm doing for Eric, man. It's like that's why it's probably killing me.
Yeah, but I'm saying in particular, I've just using the moons only, you know? But
But
the
Stan
background's
Lawless,
not bad here, you know? You can see how simple it really is. I mean,
beautiful.
it's a trading card, you know?
Yeah, man. Oh,
The
you gotta go
guns are
take me
good.
back to that horse too, though. Those guns are great, Dan.
I know. Well, I really I found some real reference on it, you know?
Yeah, man. That's how we do.
But again, you know, here's the thing is you think, "Oh, it's a nicely rendered gun." What happens when you get close? You see just how simple this really is.
Yep.
Gray, you know, light gray splotch of color, little white highlight. You know, it's not that much to it. You got to know where to
Yeah.
put these things, you know, and then it works. But really think about it, just a slop of light gray, a slop of dark gray,
Yep.
and a white hot spot reflecting on the edge. You know, always the edge of the metal. You know, and
Yeah. When
you know,
you're
it
a
comes
painter,
together.
man, it's like that's a painterly thing. It's the John Singer Sargent in you, man.
Yeah, yeah. Now
It's like
I think
it's that
this part
love.
of this is it's just too blue. Maybe I don't know. But maybe you want comics to be blue. I don't know. You know, what
Yeah.
would happen if I knock it back a tad? Take the saturation. You know, that's maybe a little less jarring. Let's see, go this way. Yeah. But that's the thing
So
about
who do you look
Photoshop.
at typically?
You can have it, and then you can pull back and try it. You know, a different way. Then you know.
It's funny, like for me, like in terms of backgrounds and stuff like that, I almost almost exclusively look at movies um and movie stills because that to me is like the best place to get, the composition stuff. And so I've learned a lot of stuff from palettes. Brian used to tell me, this is back in the VHS days. One of his bits of advice was he told me to fill sketchbooks with black and white master studies of film stills from film noir and even just great movies and like Hitchcock and things like that. And it's like that's where I get everything from in terms of like just backgrounds. You can see so much of that. It's like paintings but mainly film.
Should I make this moon crisp, or yeah, that's another question. You know.
I'm like, you got this, dog. That's a bit like asking a buddy, "Hey, should I listen? I just gotta ask you a quick question before we go up there. Should I marry her?" The only answer I'm gonna ever have is, "You got this, dog." Oh man. Whew.
Yeah, I never did a moon's sunset.
A moonrise.
Now, I guess if you're on the on the desert, you would see just as you see a sunrise, you could see a moonrise, kind of like a.
I
You know,
think
I've seen moons come
yeah.
through the trees, and it's fantastic. You know, it's amazing
Yeah.
how people think, oh, it's bigger. No, it's not actually. It's just in proportion to the.
What am I saying, man? I live in Rhode Island. We have seen that orange low moon come up over the horizon sometimes, and it's staggering. You feel like when you're driving on the highway that if you hit the gas, you could drive into the moon. It's so low on that horizon when it comes up because you got me thinking. I was thinking, is it because that the sun is so bright that before the moon has a chance? But it's actually the sun isn't always directly across from the moon, and there's plenty of times it gets caught head on right when it comes over the horizon. And think about that, the whole Western idea, which these are the happy accidents when artists get together. Happy Little Barrel says awesome one. Awesome one gave me grief for not paying attention to the chat. So I'm watching you now, awesome one. And he's saying I got the first Wraith of God somewhere near me. Yeah, I've got Wraith of God. I got I forget which cover I got on the first one. But I know I got the Bisley cover on the second one. And I probably got both covers when I think about it. Got the Lepresti sketchbook on the second campaign, and this one I just backed the artist who we just bought the original from for it. But hell of a good book, guys. Really fun.
Yeah, I got
I'm always
the
gonna buy
I got
a cover.
I love the retro ones, man.
I like the retro ones too, man. Aaron, why you make it so hard?
I know. You know what? You know which one I'm gonna get on the new one? Is totally that EC.
Yep.
Well, hey, let's just bring up his campaign. Help him. Let's see.
Yeah, exactly. So let me drop the link again.
Talking about it. Let me see.
Yep, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat.
Oh, if you drop the link in the chat, then I can just click on it, or you just put in the private chat, and I can.
Yeah. Oh, I'll drop in the private chat first. Here you go, man. Let me see here. Edit. Or did I copy that dang Disney quote? Nope, I did. Shiver me timbers. Hold on a second. Let me get it for you because I have it right over here. Edit copy. Here we go. Paste. Add that dang Disney quote up. There you go. There's his campaign. Oh yeah, and the Disney quote. I don't know if I ever even read it. But the Disney quote was, which is perfect. He says, "A man should never neglect his family for business," and this is Walt Disney. Pretty successful businessman, but he knew what was up.
Okay, let's get this window. Okay, there it is. Let's see. That's the best way. Maybe we'll stack us over here. Okay, there we go.
Yep, and it's moving. Look at it go.
I tell you, a StreamYard is pretty good for if not for for drawing necessarily, but boy, the other stuff.
Sure, yeah, and having people in is great.
Yeah,
man.
and just moving stuff around and things like that. So this cover is really good. I like. Oh, he's got a moon.
Yeah.
See,
see,
great horse. He did a great job on that.
That's one of my favorite stories of all time, right?
Yeah. Oh, I was on the stream with Aaron trying to talk this up the other day with he and I and Billy. Yep. And Billy hadn't seen it, and hopefully you have the Disney Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, of course, it's one of the most important
it's so good
things, period. It's
so good.
First of all, I love Bing Crosby as a person. If I could be like any person in terms of the way they worked with people, the way they treated people, and behaved as a man, it would be Bing Crosby.
Because he was really abusive to his kids, apparently.
Well, there's all sorts of stuff that people say. Everyone who worked with him, all the tours he went on, to entertain troops, and like most of the people you hear, like Mr. Fred Rogers has a son who doesn't like him and was estranged towards the tail of his life. But I love that original Sleepy Hollow, and I used to watch this thing when I was living in Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan. I would come home from trick-or-treating to 2228 Hampton Road and watch Disney's Halloween Treat with the Sleepy Hollow section of it, right? And I recently just bought The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, illustrated by Arthur Rackham, leatherbound, like a new edition of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good. I have to look that up. Is there any pictures of it online?
Gosh, you know what? I don't know. I might have to. I'll show it to you because it's who did it. Let me just make sure I can see who did it because it was a not limited, but it's a small audience that's going to want something.
How do I make you big?
Oh, I don't know, man. Just don't do it. No. Oh, that's good. That's
big enough, eh?
So, Legend of Sleepy Hollow, illustrated by Arthur Rackham. Let's see if I can get that. There we go. Left and right. I got to turn off my camera nonsense. Let's turn off portraits.
Let me try some other layouts here. Let's see. See if you pop up just you.
Here we go. So yeah,
this is really the only one I can do.
Oh, that's fine. So this is the Legend of Sleepy Hollow artwork by Arthur Rackham. And this is what the cover of it looks like right here. So I've got this book, Dracula, A Christmas Carol, like all of the greatest works of literature. But I am fanatical. Like I have the action figure of the Four Horsemen studio. They some of the biggest toy sculptors ever. They started their own company, and they did a every Halloween they do a literature inspired action figure. And they did last year for Christmas. They did Jacob Marley, and it's so cool. And like it's cartoony, but it's like great to the novel. And then they did the Headless Horseman. They did 2 versions of it. And yeah, I've been working on a not a headless horseman character, but a character without a head that is inspired by it for a story. I don't know where it's going to go, but it's. I mean, I live in New England, so I'm not. I'm north of New York by a ways, but I love that area. I have like all this research on it, love it. So I'm excited about this book more than anything. Fear Hollow, guys. Back it.
Hang on a second. I'll show you something kind of fun. You mentioned uh, the Jacob Marley.
Oh yeah.
So I did this piece years back.
Man. Dude, I hope you do some really crazy cartooning in in your personal project. Like cuz you like it's what we were talking about with Judge Dredd and Judge, Death and all of that stuff. Like when you can really draw and cartoon and put those things together, man, you can. It's like one of my favorite pieces that you did. And there's many. Let me be clear. There are many. Love Your Terror in the Trenches, of course. But I loved that piece you did. And I think it was for Phil Diaz's, maybe it was for a CG Vacation of like the devil cartoon character sitting in
that was
lava.
Vane, I think his name was.
That's right. And there was something like so awesome about the face you did on that character sitting back. Like
That's
it
a
was
great
like
character. He's
great
focused
look,
on
man.
Phil focused on his gem. I think what's it called? I forgot. It's a purple guy. And
Crimstone.
Grimstone, yeah. I thought that this Vane was such a cool character. I think he's got to talk about a gem. He's got a gem in that. He should pursue that. But
yeah, he posted something I did. Oh gosh, I don't know when that was. Today, yeah, he was asking me if I read a recent book, and I'm like, I have not had a chance to read much of anything because getting the kids ready for college, which seems like calling them kids seems ridiculous now, but and getting all of that stuff sorted and all the travel plans. But I did a painting a while back of the Masquerade character. And I mean, he posted it, that he had framed it. And it just, I mean, I looked at that painting. I was like, dang, that's another character that I think is, it's got some really great potential. Really nice.
okay, so here's one, man. I'm getting that I know it. This
Hell
is
yeah. Of course
can't.
when you said it looks like EC kind of thing and all that, I'm like, that's it right there. That's
I
the
love it. It's
one.
got this scary here. It looks like it's hand lettering. This looks like all hand lettering,
Yeah.
It's fantastic. But that is really great.
Yeah. I tell you what, man, EC Comics and all of that stuff.
I wonder who colored this. This is a great coloring job, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Even the red is a nice. I mean, that works with the other colors. Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild, man.
Yeah, that's great.
I tell you what, one of my favorite pieces of original artwork I've seen, Aaron's show. I mean, I love Aaron's stuff, obviously. But and actually, funny enough, one of my former college students, who's now, God, he's 40 now. What am I saying? But anyway, who's one of my first students that I taught, who's done all this concept artwork for Guitar Hero and all this stuff, came to my house, was sitting in my studio, looked over, and he saw the book that Aaron put out with Wraith of God 2, or maybe the first one, The Art of Aaron Lepresti, that he put out. And he's like, Aaron Lepresti, I met him when I was growing up in Oregon or whatever. And I was like, oh, really? And he was so excited, and I was like, wow, that's a trip, man. How all these threads connect, but yeah. It's great stuff, man.
Oh, so now, this guy, what's his name? Let's see. Chris Stevens. Have you heard of him before?
No, but I have now. That's
I
beautiful.
know. Look at that.
That's
And you know what he
freaking
does?
stunning.
He this is marker and then acrylics.
Yep, that's a great. Yeah, I heard Aaron explain that. On one of the later streams on launch day. I think was that. Yeah, God, I can't even remember anything. Was it yesterday? Stupid headache won't go away. But he was showing the original for that, and I was like, that is just an absolute stunner
Isn't it
of
great?
a
We're
piece.
we're looking at a
Beautiful.
modern classic here.
Yeah, it's great, man.
You
That's
know,
that's
this is
somebody who can
talk about
draw.
that surreal stuff. Look at the folds in her
Yeah,
clothing.
gorgeous.
That's so different and interesting. I mean, this is now this is you talk about being a comic artist. You want to ensure your future, develop a style like this where it's so unique and different that the AI is going to have a hard time with this one, trying to figure it out.
Well, can I say this too, though? Would you say, Dan, that he's learned how to draw?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's guys. The secret to the future of young aspiring artists is ignore anyone who tells you there are shortcuts. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
there definitely are ways to waste your time, but even if you're productive, even if you're born with natural talent, which it's a little bit of everything, but I look at this and I go, here's somebody with natural talent who clearly has worked his ass off and studied, because that composition couldn't have just landed in his head. He has to know something about, I mean, he has to know composition. He has to understand design, understand like the backgrounds of that foreground, middle ground background are so
Hmm.
strong. He
Now,
studied,
you know what's fascinating
he
about
knows
this?
what he's doing.
What's fascinating is they have a very realistic, like rendered horse and stuff like that. There's
Yeah.
parts of this very realistic. Then this cloak is done with
Yep.
a line around it to create a graphic. So
Yep.
he's got graphics sort of mixed
It's
with
beautiful.
sort of painterly finish, and it
Hmm.
works. It
Yep.
works,
Sure does. You bet it does, man. I mean, it's like, oh man, I see that stuff and it's like, I just think that it's crazy that I don't know. It's this stuff. I refuse to believe that the crappy work we're seeing out there, or that has been being pushed in our faces, exists because there's nothing better. And I have daily reminders of it in this space. It's like we're all sort of raising our games. We've all sort of created this online bullpen, and we're working our tails off, and we're making things. So there's several
Yeah,
factors to this. We have to create our own properties. Like we have to create our own stuff, and then we have to, or we work on other people's stuff. You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
But it's like
Can you
that.
imagine
What? Yeah,
this exists or this is now
yeah,
who could not want if you're a comic collector, who could
yeah.
not want this in your collection? It's a
I
must
bought
have.
it.
Yeah.
I
Or
bought it.
or or like this one. How could you not have this in your comic collection?
Listen, if I don't back that cover, Dan, it's because I'm lousy with Lepresti artwork. I got tons of Lepresti artwork. Got Lepresti everywhere. No, I love it. We're spoiled for choice, I believe, is the
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know,
I
is the
mean,
expression.
this is probably my favorite, but man,
Yeah.
it's tempting to get this one.
You should. I embrace the power of and Dan. I know I'm going to before this
Mhm.
campaign is
I
over.
know. I
You
just
know,
they're so expensive though. That's the only thing.
Edwin the Ace. It's good to see Edwin the Ace. Volume 3 is live right now. Acevedo. It's good to see you, brother. I hope
It
you're doing
says
well.
hail peeps. Hail.
Hail, brother.
That sounded kind of wimpy, didn't it? Hail.
Mm.
I'd be like,
Dan, we're
hail.
old. We can do that. You know,
Uh,
hell, my wife and I were like in
Hail.
Migraine City for the last 2 days. She was just like, "Oh God," I said, "Babe, I
Hail.
know." Yeah,
Oh.
Mike likes tacos. What's up, brother? It's great to see you. All of our people right here, right now. Do you know what I mean?
Mike
Let me
likes
see here.
tacos. Does anyone not like tacos? Is
I
that a
hope
thing?
that no one, as far
I
as
don't think
I'm
I've ever met
concerned,
anybody that doesn't like tacos.
yeah.
So, but maybe just in case, Mike has identified himself as a taco liker.
Well, yeah, he is a liker
So
of
if
tacos.
you have Mike over at your house, then and just you got you getting tacos for him, right?
You better get some tacos.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's
communist
a
Mike
taco
says they don't
lover.
like tacos. That's right. Agreed.
Yeah, so this is a
Agreed.
great
Agreed.
campaign. I'm really excited to. I don't have anything on it. I didn't color anything. I didn't draw anything on this one. I didn't like squeeze my way into it.
Well, there's
Hey,
still
look at this.
time.
This is an Alphonse Mucha,
Yep.
tribute. Isn't that
Uh-huh.
nice?
Yep.
And then
Telling you, man.
I have to say these are really cool too when you see the roughs.
Hell yeah.
I just and what's the difference between this one? I'm trying to think. Okay, so this and then that. Okay, I almost feel like his sky's a little dark, don't you think? For the
I
horse.
don't see color, Dan. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying when you look at this, I love this. Where was it? Okay, see that dark light
Yes.
and the horse is popping.
Yeah.
I would love. I think maybe I should. Do I dare say, hey, lighten up that background?
I listen, I have seen people try to step to Aaron and he will just like there are
Really?
certain things that, and I like Aaron. So Aaron, if you're watching this later, I want you to know this. I like you. You seem like a decent guy. But I have to say, what the heck is up with you not liking Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein and the Wolf Man?
Really? He doesn't like that?
He does not like it at all.
Oh, I don't know if I like him as
I'm
much
telling
now.
you, man, like everything else, I will be like, all right, if you think that's the color the sky's got to be, it's what you got to do. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's what you got to do. But
Yeah.
that I cannot deal with.
Now here this okay. I can accept it though because it does because he's doing he's lighting up the horse. So he
Yeah.
uses his highlights on the horse, which is fine. That's an option too. Moon, highlights, horse, fine. But I'm kind of in love at first sight with this one. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like I just feel
I love that
oh
too. It's
yeah,
beautiful. That's a beautiful one
because
right
of
there.
you really want to see that silhouette of that horse. That's just
Yep.
really really great. And this one, it gets a little lost.
Yeah.
So, and there's still time to fix it, right? The Ghost of Christmas critiques can go visit him
Yeah.
in one night.
Green Laser is telling me something I refuse to believe, but I'm going to say it aloud anyway. He doesn't like Godzilla either, says Green Laser. Aaron
What?
Lopresti does not like Godzilla either. My God,
Oh my
man.
god, what's going on with him? I'm gonna
How
stop
did him
sharing
and
his
Graham
campaign.
Nolan? Yeah, let's go.
The heck with don't buy this Wraith of God. This
You
doesn't
know,
like
we
Godzilla.
gotta support Lopez, of course, but it's this is the thing, guys. We're not all politically aligned, like many say. Some of us don't like Abbott and Costello. Some of us don't like Godzilla. We make it work for the sake of the kids. That's
Oh,
what we
okay, is
do
that it?
here.
Okay,
Yeah, for the sake of
yeah.
the fans, we make it work somehow.
Still back it. Go ahead, back the book, but back it
Yeah,
grudgingly.
back it, but that's
Just back
between
it
him and God.
with a little bit of grumble in your voice, like
That's right.
doesn't
Set
like
back
Evan
for his book in
Costello,
the hopes
doesn't
that
like Godzilla.
yeah. What
All
the
right, I'm
hell,
still gonna
Lopez?
back it
Come on
because
now,
it's
man.
excellent.
Oh, it's killing me. God bless him, though.
That is freaking awesome, though, man.
Isn't it? Beautiful, man. He's got taste for days, that's for sure. He knows,
I want to see more of his stuff. I wonder. Okay, let me look it up.
yeah, I'm sure he's got
What's his
a.
name? Chris Stevens. Hmm.
Oh, that's going to be a toughie if we can't find it. I mean,
Well,
seriously.
that name's so common, so
I know, that's what I mean. I'm like going,
But
oh, that's rough.
sometimes you just do Chris Stevens. Let's see,
Yep. Chris Stevens art usually will get it done. Chris Stevens Illustrator. I think I probably found it. Yep. Found him in one shot.
Oh, you didn't. You found it
Oh,
too.
cool. Like, yeah, he's got like a European kind of thing going on. I like that, man. Oh, I'm totally get it now. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, he's
Oh,
influenced by Travis Charest. That's what I was thinking of.
some of
That's
this almost looks like
beautiful.
Brahm.
Yeah, this guy's got Chris, if you see this, which I'm sure you will at some point, this is some beautiful stuff.
Oh yeah,
Nicely done.
Travis Ray. But the coloring in it feels like Brahm. Yeah. This is Travis Ray
Yeah,
type
man.
stuff.
Beautiful hatching, and look at that giant Spider-Man piece he's
I
working
didn't
on
know
with his
this guy.
hand on it.
Another incredible artist pops out of nowhere suddenly. You know what I mean?
Yep. Pops out of this is what's great to see. Oh, look, I see there's a picture of him signing all these prints. Oh, that's so great. Chris, congratulations on your work. It's beautiful, man. Really nicely done. This is great stuff.
Yep. I'm
Oh,
looking at.
beautiful. He's got a beautiful phantom piece too. Nice stuff, man.
Oh, it's Mr.
Beautiful.
Miracle. Looks good. Wait. Well, hey, we should just show it, right?
No, they have to want it. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead and show it. Damn, just being an idiot.
Well, is there a danger of sometimes when you do searching,
Oh, with you getting struck? Yeah, I
no, not
can.
struck,
Yeah.
but also the nudie could show up or something,
Well, that I can't. Yeah, I don't know, man. You may want to have to. I'm not going to call it up because I don't want to get in
Let
trouble
me
for
just try
that.
it.
But
I don't think you get
yeah,
struck.
you scroll, and that way I'm not responsible. Oh, you should go to his Instagram, man. That way
Okay,
you're at
Instagram.
least seeing his stuff. Hang on a second. I'm gonna share it in the private chat.
Wait, it'll pop right up here.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Nice. So yeah, there
yeah,
you
that's
go.
cool.
That's a giant piece.
How can I just
Look at that.
advance? Um,
Yep.
wait a minute, that's it?
Yeah, I think if you hit your arrows
We
back.
got 6.
No. Click above on his name. You see that? Yeah, click on that, and it'll take you to his homepage. Then click on one, and you click all the way through.
Yeah. Oh, look at this moonlight, huh?
Yeah, it's
Pretty
nice, man.
darn cool.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Wraith.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Yeah, where's that? Hopefully, it has that. Oh, look at this one. This Fantastic Four kind of has a little Hildebrand coloring in there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Where's that Mr. Miracle one though? I just saw that. I feel like I got to go back.
Yeah, it might be
To
way
the-
down.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I'm gonna go back to the this page because I want to find that Mr. Miracle illustration. Yeah, look at that. Is that slick or what? Or is this a different artist? Oh, that's a different artist. Okay, look at this guy's man. I can't hear you. Are you talking? Are you muted?
I muted myself. Sorry about that, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, this is a different artist. Who's this guy? His name is
Don't know.
Ibrahim Adin. Look at that, huh?
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, where did I go? See, we get all over the place. Like, what the heck's going on?
We do. You got to get back to your painting. I'm distracting you. You invited me in here, ruining
Look,
everything.
I'm shrinking down again. As I said, I've done this on live streams. Like, I'll start up here, like, yeah, and then it's like an hour later, like, and then I'm like, like, I'll catch myself. Oh yeah, I got it.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes when we're feeling it, man.
Let's see. Present my page. Let's see where I'm at. Oh, I have the Marley guy popped up still.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful, dude.
Okay, so this is not bad.
Yeah.
You know, the only problem with this, perhaps, is that it's just too much air. But I was trying to get a feel of the speed, going across the landscape, that sort of thing.
The biggest
I almost wonder what would happen if I like blurred it, across, like, that'd be kind of interesting.
Green Laser's cracking me up. He says that Aaron thinks Godzilla looks too goofy, but then he goes, "When the moon hits your hooves like a big pizza pie, that's the wraith of God." Eh? Agreed. Yes. Well said, Green Laser. Yeah, I love the foreground values you put in there too. By the way, yeah, they look really nice. I hope, like, make sure you let that line work come through. Like, I know the horse is dark, but make sure you you don't lose that drawing any more than you have to, because we can deal with a slightly lighter horse for that beautiful
the drawing's so light because it's pencil, so.
Yeah, but it's so pretty. I love that texture. It's It's just there's something really, I don't know, man. When when you can draw, man, you can draw. When you can draw, that's about as
What happened
southern as you're gonna get
if I
from me at this hour.
lighten this up a little bit?
Oh man, you're wearing an all caps hat. I just realized.
Yeah,
Oh man.
gotta support the team, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm switching
My
over.
favorite team, you know.
I'm switching over. Yep.
Yeah, I got 3 of them. You know why too? Because these hats made by Sinclair,
Yeah.
they're the only hats that fit my ginormous head.
You remember St. Clair Shores?
Oh yeah.
See, we have references we can actually throw around, man. It's
See, I
really
you know, like most hats, like like I'll have I
these
got
could
some
be
other
great
hats
too.
I could show you. They don't they don't have like they
Yeah.
kind of deep in in the back here more,
Yes.
and they
Yeah.
sit on my head like a yarmulke, you know. But these guys, they got lots of room
I'm
for my
telling you right now,
basic.
and I'm not just saying this because well, actually I don't ever say shit like this because I'm very particular about hats. Um, the all caps, the hat, this hat I have right here, and I think it's a different color than the one you have. The first all caps hat I got, and it may even be the same. Well, let me just double check it real quick. Maybe it was just a different size or something like that. Let me just take a look. Who knows? Or maybe it just got crushed. I didn't like the color of it. But the first one I got was the yellow and black one way back when.
Mm,
And I just didn't like the color of it. It's like one of those things I deal with. I like things to be either black or blue, or with a little bit of a pop color or white or something like that. And I
mhm.
can't wear red because I've got green in my freaking skin tone. So if I put on red, I turn into Kermit, man, like that. Like that's just over. And because I'm a lizard, and and one of the things for me is that when I saw this hat, I was like, God, it's a nice looking hat, but how's it going to fit? It's my go to hat now. I've got 2 of these of this color. I'll probably buy a third. You know. Yeah, no.
Mhm.
Austin was like, "I'll take that hat if you don't like it, man." That hat's been in the wars, though, dude. That hat got loved. It got used for sure. It's
I got a green one which I trashed with sweat. Like
you know what I'm talking about.
I
Yeah.
stained the hell out of it. Like, oh dang it.
When we took our this guys, this is how Comics Gate I'm in. This is how all caps all in I am with what we're doing here in Comics Gate. I went on the first vacation with my kids, I think, and our family took our first vacation in 8 years because we promised our kids during the lockdowns and everything, when you guys graduate from high school, we're going to take you guys down to Universal and you guys can run around, just the 2 of you, because you'll be 18 years old. You go run around and go on rides together and have fun. Even though my daughter isn't much of the thrill seeker. And I was walking around on day one, man, with my all caps hat, walking around Universal, hoping I would run into a comic skater or somebody, and say,
Mhm.
hey, you too, because, and I know it's going to happen more and more, but it was real fun walking around Universal with my all caps hat on and my kids. And, it's great stuff.
Yeah. I think there was a time if you walked around with your all caps comics hat at a convention, you might get a smack in the back of the head or something, you know.
Yeah, probably so, but I've had smacks in the back of the head for all kinds of reasons, so I'm not worried about this ball cap. They can bring it if they need to. Fucking ridiculous, man. Yeah. Man.
Okay, so this is night. I gotta figure out how to 'cause it's too monochromatic, you know. That's something. Now that's kind of what happens, isn't at night. Of
Oh,
course,
dude.
it gets but this is an illustration, obviously. So I got to move it
I gotta
towards.
put some in the chat, private chat for you to look at. Um, this is a painter that I love and that you may like. Oh gosh, can I spell his name as a real one? Probably can't. Oh no, I came close. Um, is this it? Let me see if I can find it. Oh, he does have a sketch of a nude figure there, so we can't use that one. Let me see if I can find his website here.
So you're sharing news with me. That's what you're saying.
No, those are in a separate folder I just shared with you.
Oh
Hold on a
God.
minute. So, oh, you know what? What am I saying? I'll share this with you. This dude is a DreamWorks concept artist, and I've written him a letter just to say, hey, dude, just so you know, I taught generations of students with your work. You are a genius, and thank you. but he works in digital, he works in traditional, he works in everything. He goes all the way back, I think, to Prince of Egypt, and which is to me one of the
Oh,
great animated
yeah,
movies. God,
that's
I love
great.
that.
I bought the art book for that.
Yeah. Oh, and that book it was cheap when it came out, is going for so much now. I have that book over here, and people go, "Where can I get that?" I'm like, "You should have jumped on it sooner." But uh, if you would share this screen right here, because this is one of my go-to painters for the West. He's clearly influenced by Mobius, and and painting. He's a heck of a painter in his own right. But this is his stuff for
Oh,
spirit,
yeah.
and these are gouache.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you would dig his stuff. His name is Luc
Wow.
Demarchelier, and he can cartoon, he can paint, and some of these are tiny thumbnails, but look at that.
That's
Look at what
great.
a psycho this guy is. He's so good.
Yeah.
And I
It's
mean,
it's
I
like
look at his
Frazetta, it's like, it's got,
Yep,
it's like Remington or Frederick Remington.
yep. I mean, look at this one. This one gets me, man.
Great stuff.
This is 1 inch by 3. These are like 1 inch by 3 inch, I think. These are tiny.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I have a whole page of them that I used to give my students, and they had to do master copies of these. Like, look at that.
Oh,
Check
man.
that out. How's that for a nutty
Yeah.
palette? And then
Hey,
he's
that's what I need. I need to add some stars on my
oh, dude, you've
grade
gotta
grade
put
book.
stars in. Have you ever done, like, a lot of stars would be great for that piece, man.
Yeah.
You know? Stars would be fantastic for that piece. Look at this. Look at how tiny this is. You can tell how small this is from the brush strokes. It's like that's a marker outline. That's how small these are.
Wow.
You look at this doodle of his. He's one of the best that I've seen in terms of his drawing, his composition. That's why he's had such a
Mhm.
long career, and continues to learning how to draw. Look at this.
Oh, that horse. That's cool.
The horses in the
And
clouds, man.
House in the
Look
clouds.
at it.
That
He
too. Man, that's cool.
I'm so glad I showed you this stuff, because I was hoping that you would like this stuff, because it
Mhm.
just strikes me as like he did. Let me see if I can find. There's Tim Burton,
Let
Shrek,
me let
Tim
me let
Burton.
me just hold on that screen for a
Oh,
second.
sorry.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'll hold right here.
I'm gonna
So,
write down this man's name here.
Mama Jamma
Luke.
de Marchelier.
uh,
Yeah, we should do a
So
show where we talk about art. Oh wait, we're doing one.
it already started right now.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man. If you just give me tell me an hour, and I can pop on your stream, we could talk about art. Just pick a day of the week, man. That's all we gotta do.
So Luke Desmarchi
A day,
liar.
yeah, it's spelled exactly, and that's why I told people I had to learn how to pronounce it
I'm
right.
butchering the name on
Look
purpose.
at his digital stuff, dude.
Oh, that's
Some of
great.
this is his digital and
Oh
traditional, but
my
I think it's digital.
gosh.
Digital. This is for Hotel Transylvania.
Oh, really?
Yep. Look at this. He can look at this. Legend.
Mhm.
These are the people that I like. I should be looking at him more for, frankly, Nosfero, because this
Yeah.
stuff is. I'm looking at of course I look at Frazetta. I look at Hammer horror movies. There's like a bunch of different stuff I look at. Disney backgrounds for Snow White, that kind of stuff. But
Yep.
I mean,
Well,
this guy.
in my comic in my Sword and Sorcery comic book, there's castles, and I got
Dude,
files of collected of castles, and
look at this insanity.
illustrations and stuff like that.
I mean, that's gorgeous right there.
Wow. So simple, how
Yep,
that's not that complicated.
I know. Look at this. Look at
Oh,
how
what's
he
that
nails
from? That
the
looks
color.
familiar to me.
This
I
is
think
Hotel Transylvania, I
I've
think.
seen this before. I swear I've
Yep.
seen some of this stuff before.
Look, I mean, check this out. How cool of a castle is that?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, come
But,
on
the
now.
only thing is if you're in that castle and you're, go back for a second,
Oh yeah, yeah.
uh, and you're sleepwalking, that's a bad step.
Well, I gotta be honest, man. I'm at the point now where Lauren and I both think the stairs, like a couple stairs on our porch, can kill us at this point, the way we are walking. But Look, I mean, look at the zombie attack stuff. It's just there. It's got all of this, like his exploration sketches. Look at that, man. I mean,
You know what's amazing to me is,
this guy,
I've seen the cartoon. I saw Hotel Transylvania. It's
yeah,
not like this. It's not. This is
dude, his
these
concept art's
illustrations are
better than the movies.
the illustrations are often better. They're just I don't know about them. What's about them? Too bad you can't like make an animated feature that's kind of like looks like this, kind of painterly. Wouldn't that be
Well, you used
cool?
to not be able to, but we're gonna do it in our lifetime.
Yeah,
I'm
it's probably gonna
serious.
be
Like,
happening.
look at this, dude. The
Oh
stalking
man.
through the graveyard
Oh
and how high
man.
the horizon is.
Yeah.
I want people to get excited. I guess this is sort of what we want to do, right? Get people excited about art and see. This is the thing. This is me. This is my take on it, Dan. Like if you and I have two locked, like we can have a plan. Like we can say, oh, we're kind of probably talk about this. But if you and I get talking, it's gonna write itself.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we really like because you know what like
Yeah.
it's the things that we won't. If we plan, there's certainly things that we will forget.
We're gonna have trouble staying subject. That's the only problem.
Well, sure, and we're gonna, but like this is his Tim Burton stuff, man. Look at that. This guy works for everybody.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
mean, he can just throw down.
Oh my god, you're right.
Look at that.
Ah, it's like go back, kind of see all this stuff kinda like, okay, reminds me of what? Arthur Rackham. It
Yep.
reminds me of Charles Vess, of, you know, of Kaluta. I mean,
Yep.
all
Awesome with
those
those.
all those influences, and
Yep.
yeah.
I'm sending this out to Awesome One. I'm getting him some fireworks. Yeah, the thing about this is Awesome One. We care about art. Like, how do I put it? Here's why I left education. I care about art too much to work with people who do not care about it and pretend to. That's what broke my heart. They don't care about learning how to paint, learning how to draw. They want to smear things on, canvas and be applauded for it. And to me, that is a almost like a sacramental violation of the arts. Like it's it's an insult to the art. It's not making things that are a grace, to nature. It's a disgrace to nature. When I see something like this, I feel like my heart soars. And zing indeed,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
When
you better watch with
I
all
met my
these
wife,
because
I zinged for
you're
sure.
you're you're getting it from Awesome One. He just said, "I'm so excited,"
That's
and I
right, man.
think,
Yeah. And
I don't get the
I
one before
refuse
though. Elmo, if you're here,
yeah.
you have homework from Shant. Elmo, what's that
Yep.
mean?
Emo trash man knows.
Emo. Who's emo?
Emo's one of the folks that follows subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my brother
Oh,
Rocky's
okay.
channel. Um I always got to worry when I click on these what I'm
Oh,
going
it
to
says,
run into.
yeah, it looked like I mean,
Here's the illustration work that he does too.
wait,
You can and
this is the same
how
guy, Luke?
mind blowing. Yeah, this is same guy.
Yeah.
Same guy.
Yeah, I can imagine. If he can do those, comps, he can do
I don't know
finishes.
what about him makes me think you might like his stuff, Dan.
Well,
I'm
it's the
like,
lighting, it's fantastic,
look at this though. Come on, you could eat those colors with an ice cream scooper, man. That's some
Yeah,
delicious color right there.
yeah.
Heck, man. Look at this.
Imagination, these guys.
Ah,
It'd be cool to
Aaron
see
might not
him
like
do,
this one.
a Lord of the Rings,
Oh
calendar.
yeah.
That would be probably
I can't
something
show
real
that one for very long. I'm not sure what I'm seeing there. But
Those are
there's
tiny
these
things.
are his space sketches for sci-fi stuff and ideas he has.
Mhm.
Look at that, man. Wow. What a legend he is. Look at the waves. Oh, this is from Prince of Egypt.
Oh, okay.
That was from when Pharaoh gets washed up on the rocks when the waves
Wow.
crash down.
Okay.
So yeah, he did tons of stuff for Prince of Egypt. I used to have a whole file of his thumbnails and color beats from Prince of Egypt. I don't know why he doesn't have it. He has all various oh, it's probably under various projects. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. Cats. There it is. Prince of Egypt. because I can't not show.
You know, I may have seen these. Let's see.
Look at this. These are tiny. These are 1x2s, if that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a legend. You know, I mean, this guy.
Mhm.
There's this is from what's it called? Not the Emperor's New Groove. Maybe it was actually. No, it was
Or was it? Is it?
the
Remember
Road
what was
Eldorado.
the El Dorado? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So look at how he handles night with local color. Some of this is Fantasia 2000, I think. DreamWorks. Oh no, Moby Dick. This was Moby Dick by DreamWorks. Okay, so that was an unfinished film project. Look at
Wait,
the
did
fire.
DreamWorks did a Moby Dick?
They were going to. It was in development. It was one of the projects that got killed when
Oh
traditional
man,
got
really?
killed. Yeah, yeah. They were
That
doing
would have been
some
great.
really interesting stuff, man.
No shit.
Various Sony projects. I mean, does this guy have an imagination
Oh
or what?
man.
Look at that. So yeah, anybody who thinks when people ask me about advice for art, what's up, Sean? How you doing? Yep, those colors are so on point, Sean. You're 100% right, man. I used to give this to my college students. And yeah, I know Emo's an art student. Yeah, I used to make my art school students do master copies of Luc de Marchelier's stuff. So that was like a big factor. Actually, I'm gonna see real quick. Let's see if I can find this because I just realized I used to when I was teaching, I would have my students would have to learn how to do master copies of people like sorry, I'm flipping through family photos and seeing emergency room trips with my son after he
It
cut his
was a,
finger off.
Green Laser says Godzilla in that uh,
Cloud. Yep.
car. No,
There was a scene
Cars.
that he did
No,
where
no, no. It
Godzilla
says
was
Godzilla in that Cars on the Road one. What's the road? What,
yes.
flip-
That was one of Luke's paintings that were was a little while back. It was in his what section was it in? I think it was in his illustration section. There's was it this one where there's a street scene? Oh, there it is. This one right here.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that. Oh
Isn't
my
that
goodness.
cool?
Yeah.
So let me see. Boy, man, when you look at yeah, oh man, I could teach, man. Sorry, like I'm just like I look at some of the stuff I used to teach,
Yeah.
guys. I mean, I have no
Look
problem.
at the colors in this one. It's like the guys somehow. I mean, I would never have figured to put green
Yep,
in a sort of dawn illustration like that. It's pretty
yep.
wild.
That's the key, man. That's the key. So I would introduce students to painting, obviously. When I was teaching illustration and things like that. I'm just looking to see if I can find without like I'm scrolling through pictures of my family and my kids, and I'm just like, oh, I'm feeling. Oh man, I miss those little boogers. But where is it? But I'll show if I can find one of the Sean Pingetti.
Yeah. Also, mentioned you missed it too. It's like I'm thinking, how did I miss this? I was looking right at it. Am I like an artist or what? Sometimes I'm amazed
Good.
how unobservant I actually am as an artist.
No, I think it's just. I mean, he's good. I mean, he did it so that it would take a second for people to see. You know, it's like he's got it down. Where
Yeah,
the hell?
maybe my brain doesn't work fast enough to process it. You went too fast.
Well, there's a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of. What's the word I'm looking for? He's doing some really crazy stuff with misdirection in that too. Like he didn't want you to see it right away. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like he wanted it to be something that like I'll show you something that I did for
Yeah, because here's the
a
thing:
friend of
is it almost looks like trees. He's got the trees to the right,
mine.
and
Yep.
on the left, it could kind of be, his back spikes look like trees until you actually see the face.
Let me share this stuff with you. I'm gonna show you two things. One is because I think they're both useful for what we're talking about because we have people saying, you know, I'm
Oh,
interested in
just as I said, Green Laser said the same thing. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we were talking about gosh, man, why isn't this coming forward? Here we go. We were talking about, you know, with art school students and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to show you a student who's been introduced to painting with gouache. This was years ago. Who this would be a freshman student, right? And who's never used gouache before. Let me see here. There we go.
Gouache is a really interesting paint. I did a lot of paintings in gouache. I'll have to
Yep.
bring them up. I'll have to pull out some gouache paints of mine.
So imagine you're a freshman, this piece right here, and this is like you by the end of one semester, so 3 months of introduction to gouache. See, am I sharing that? Yeah, there is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to share it.
Oh, no, it's fine. You're fine.
Duh.
So this is a student like 3 months into using gouache in my
Yeah.
class,
Yeah.
painting realist stuff. Now, here's the thing. This is me who I did a portrait for a coworker when her father died. And I did a portrait of her dad when he passed away, just
Mhm.
on the side while I was doing other things. Now, you got to have like, and I repainted his face because his face has a lean to it because of his age. You can see that lean on one side,
Yeah.
and I had it too symmetrical. But if you don't know, if you don't understand light and you don't understand color, and this was 2017, so this is a long time ago. But that's for my coworker Laura. It says on it, but she was missing her dad. It was the 1 year anniversary, so I surprised her with a painting of her father. And the thing about it is that you can't get someone 3 months into gouache here, which is just a foothold, if you don't understand all this stuff. And that's the
Yeah,
thing where,
I do have a painting that I can show you of a gouache
yeah,
painting I
please, man.
did back in art school.
Yep. Mm.
There it is.
Nice, man. There it is. Yep. There it is.
I was just copying a photo, obviously.
Yeah. But you were using paint, right? Not a camera? Right? Look at it. It's
Well, that the
great.
toughest part was trying to get these, water droplets,
Yep. Very tough in that reflection.
but,
Beautiful.
I let some of this red just, you know,
Yeah.
that was in there just but, a
That's what we
lot of the
do.
texture there actually, this isn't a very good it's not a very sharp,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
It's a
scan
lot.
here, but you would
Yeah.
see the paint textures really, really well. Now here's where I didn't really know what I was doing yet in color because I didn't add I should add color to these hands instead of gray, so it looks kinda
Mhm.
what happens when you add, the grays, it looks
Yep.
dead, and, but still, the rendering itself is pretty, pretty good,
Yeah.
so but yeah, I was pretty proud of that piece,
It's
and a
pretty dang good.
little bit of Bob Peak going on here, you know what I'm saying? That
Listen,
kinda
if
thing.
that's where Aaron and that's what brings us together is our love of Bob. I can see my Bob Peak book from here. It's
Yeah,
right
Bob
there.
Peaks.
Love
Yeah.
Bob Peak.
Yeah, like the, Excalibur, uh,
Yep. You got it.
cover.
100%. Yeah,
I
him
remember
and
you know, I remember
him there.
seeing something, the title of the piece was a Bob Peak piece, and the title was Willow. It was some woman. I just remember but I can't find that piece anymore. I I searched for it online,
Yeah.
I couldn't find it. But, if you ever come across it, it's usually, like, this
Which piece?
brownish it's called Willow, and
Oh, I
it's a
know that
beautiful
piece. Yeah,
woman.
the Lucasfilm movie. Of course, I know that piece. It's beautiful.
Beau beautiful woman and,
Yeah.
brunette.
Yeah. Wait, let me
So,
just check. Bob Peak Willow is what it's called.
I think it's what it was called.
Well, there's his painting he did for the poster art of Willow with a redhead, but I don't know if it's the one you're talking about.
No.
No, it's something else. Let me see. Oh man, he's done so much work. Tracking him down is anything with him. Dang, he's good. See, for me, the end all be all of his work is always going to be that Apocalypse Now poster. You just
Oh, that
can't.
was
I
great,
mean, and
yeah.
he did so many, man. He did so many. Yep, looks like soot from the fire on his hands. Yep, craziness, man. Dan makes it happen. We are.
Oh, you know what one of my favorite too was, Camelot. I
Yep,
loved the Camelot, one.
because he leans into the drawing on that one beautifully. That Bob Peak, he should be an artist. God rest him. Uh, what a legend, you know. And his
Yeah.
son did the Nightmare on Elm Street posters that are famous with his dad's stylistic, which I didn't know.
Really?
Yep. And those are some of my favorite horror movie posters of all time. It was Bob Peake's son. It's Chris Peake, I think, was his name, if I'm not mistaken.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, those that's the side of Illustrator guys, Bernie Fuchs
Yeah.
and Ken Dallison, all those guys.
Yep.
Man, they were so damn good. And I think they were really wealthy too.
Yep.
I think
Well,
that
they should be for
those
what they did. Yeah.
yeah, because that's
There was a
back,
lot of money
this
in
is
a lot of
when
these careers.
yeah, back when
Matthew.
there was
Sorry.
back when the they were using illustrations for in magazines and stuff. There's a lot of magazines,
Yeah.
and they needed guys like that. And you put something like that on, the New Yorker or something. It's like something like that is really expensive.
But everything has been so like dumbed down. Like we're talking about AI artwork, right? Yeah, AI artwork is great, but take a look at this thing right here that I just shared, right? Like this is his son, okay? I know that you can put this into a computer and you could show a bunch of this guy's stuff and you could probably get AI artwork to go, okay, I'm gonna construct this thing for you. But there are just weird little decisions with that little Nosferatu snuck in there for reasons I can't even fathom, and
Right.
all of these little things in it that I go, like, it's like, how do I put it? If you don't have artist stuff to pull from, and what it does is it's an aggregator. So it takes all the information and it gives you something that's an average of it, but it
Yep.
doesn't have any sharp edges on it. It's crisp, but it's not sharp. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about it. There's no, and look, if it gets better at it, more power to it. But I don't think people understand how it's not about the tech has never been the problem. Everybody had the same software or close to the same software that Pixar has. That's not it's not the secret to making a movie. You know what I mean? It's like everybody has AI, great. What's going to make it exceptional? Somebody who is better than everybody else at understanding whatever the tool does. Nothing's changed. It's funny. It's like it's what is it like everybody once you have your first guy who has a wheel gun, right? Has a pistol that can fire more than one shot before you have to reload, right? He's going to be running the table. Now everybody's got them. It's going to come back down to skill. That's it. It's just going to change, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they absolutely do help. Yeah, if you would rather have a revolver than a muzzle loader, for sure, But if everybody's got a revolver, you're not special that you got one anymore. Like that's a very short-lived period. And then like I start looking at, it's like I was looking at YouTube thumbnails, like because I was just looking for something interesting, and every one of them looked the same. Like as a guy standing there, like, hey, like, and I just can't even look at them anymore. It's too funny.
Now, there it
That's
is.
awesome. It's epic. Yeah.
This
Almost like
this
an
is
air
what's
taping.
what's amazing is how he puts Richard Harris's face of
Yep.
to pop out Vanessa Redgrave, and look at her face is pure white.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and that creates that soft beauty, kind of that sort of thing. And then all the little stuff on the side, and
Yeah.
that stuff is nice too. Horses, they're
And
good.
you're not going to get an argument out of me, man. Like, yep.
So different. It's weird how like this stuff is like drawn almost like distorted slightly,
Yeah.
but it's cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's whenever I see those questions in the chat, right, about like, and they're great. Like, what advice would I have for an aspiring artist or someone who is a young art school student? I'd say the same thing. It's like the fact that we call up some of these artists who are how do I put it? There's a handful of artists that everybody understands is undisputed and high quality. There's not a lot of people right now that people point to. Tell me who the big illustrator artist is right now. Like people will talk about maybe a manga artist or they'll talk about somebody else, but they're not going to talk about, oh, here's the big illustrator whose style is everything. Because all of these unskilled people have no ability to create a style.
Yeah,
We're
that's what
still
I've
talking
noticed.
about artists.
Like a lot of like I'm just talking. Let's thinking of artists when I back in the
Yeah.
'80s, like how different they were. You
Yep.
know, you had the John Buscema's, of course, the traditional, and
Yeah.
the Romitos, and the Kane, Go Kane. But then think how different that is from Gene Colan. And then you had Art Adams, you had Charles Vess, you have Kaluta, you have
Yep.
Dave Stevens. Everyone was like very different, but excellent in their own way, you know.
And
And
they
of
were
course,
studying the
Frazetta.
greats, which is why they were studying Frazetta too. But it's like, you were showing. Let me see if I can do this. You were showing that piece before when we were talking about texture. Whoops, wrong one. And let's see if I can make this happen here. Switch cameras, turn off all of the effects, and it's still probably not going to work because I gotta find a way to. There we go. That's a little better, but still pretty bad. But actually, I'll turn on this light. Maybe that'll help. But if I can get that to not have a glare. But when I'm going in and I'm putting some of these crazy details in, and I'm working on, there we go, there's a 45, and working on the fur and the detail. This is going to be for the No Sparrow, the Second Chance campaign that I'm doing right now. And this is going to be in the second edition of the book. And when I'm doing this, or when I'm working on something like this, everything I do is about trying to create that sense of drama, and sometimes about idiotically squeezing all the characters in. But look at how, like, we're up in the air. You can see that Battle Brick Road way the F down there. And you can see, Toto down there, and you can see the Tin Man, and you can see the Scarecrow, and you can see the kind of havoc, that they're creating there. And then, like, using the wings of the flying, monkey to be like, make her a Valkyrie in that sense. You know what I mean? And playing around with the
I wish I could
poetry.
figure out how to make you. You should be. I should be able to figure out how to make you full screen.
Oh, the what you know what it is? It's when you make yourself full screen, you got to drag my box over to yours. That's what it is, the click and drag thing. So, like, when we're both on screen, if you drag, so we had me, you bigger and me small. If you do that and then you drag that box I'm in over, like, inside of the screen box. Yeah, you just did it. Wow, there it is.
Okay. Well, can I just make it big? Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, once you switch it, you can do it with that one. But this right here, all of the craziness, and I wanted it to say, let me see if I can zoom out far enough for anybody to see this here. There we go. I wanted the cables, right, to be saying, writing out sort of Oz. Can you see it?
Oh,
So I'm just
yeah.
like, it's layer on top of layer on top of layer on top of layer, trying to figure out, like, how am I going to make this stuff, like the detail on, I don't know if it'll focus, but the detail on Tin Man Scarecrow. Here's my thumbnail. So we can get a sense how tiny he is. Lion, all of these guys. But I'm trying to understand this world, because this, because you did a piece as well. We're trying to understand the world of Eric Weathers. Now, when I'm doing, something like that one right there, or here's one that's going to be easier to focus on because there's more color in it. But this is the prints you can get. That's
Yeah,
the
that's a
same
great
campaign.
image. That guy on the
Cool
guy on the
guy,
rocks, freaking awesome.
Razor Fist, because all of us have to
Yeah.
paint horses at some time for some godforsaken reason. Because I told Razor Fist, I'm like, do you hate artists? And then, of course, the most insane thing I've painted recently is the Michael Bancroft piece, which is just barking mad.
Oh yeah. Wow.
This one's just insane. And it's a playing card, so it can, because he likes poker, and I go into these weird places when I paint, so you can flip it over,
Oh, yeah.
and it works
Wow, I like that.
either way. And I actually signed it on both top and bottom, so
Okay.
so that it was you could look at it and go, wait a second, which end is up? But it's about creating something that I haven't seen before. And of course,
Right.
what is it a crime to put a moon in a pea stand? No, it's not, right? We've decided that today.
There you go. Okay. That has
And
been
then he sent
determined.
me, I ordered one for my kids, but I got the puzzle in the mail, and I said, I already put this puzzle together once. But we do Razor, I think I told you this, Razor Fist posed, because he has the gun that his character in Wraith of God uses.
Uh-huh.
So he actually, I'm using, this is his hand in a black glove holding his gun that his character uses.
Huh.
So
Okay.
he actually posed for this and sent me a photo.
Wow. Yeah. Love
Yeah, and
those
this book's
colors, man.
available on Amazon. It's in Walmart. It's everywhere. So if you missed Ghost of the Badlands, You can pick that book up. I was actually there for the
He made
main.
it into Amazon? How do you I wonder how he's
Oh
found
yeah,
that.
he's doing it through a publisher. So he's
Oh,
in
okay.
Walmart. He's in God. He's everywhere with this book.
I
So
thought
yeah,
he crowdfunded it though.
yeah, he did. He crowdfunded it, and then he did a special edition of the book, which is huge. I don't know where the heck I have that. I've got the. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Is this it?
The
Yep.
crowdfunder
He
was
did.
through a publisher though?
This is the crowdfunder, and then they did another sort of mass market version, which is what they're doing.
Okay.
And that one's everywhere. And then let me see if I can find, because it's right in the back. Yeah, there's a couple of pieces he commissioned people to do. So there's mine right there in the back
Nice.
in the pinup section, which is I was really excited to see it. So I think that's probably, is that the only full color traditional piece or the first one for Ghost of the Badlands? But man, you know me, I've done so much. I got to do a third art book, man. I've got enough artwork now to do another art book. I might add that at some point to a
I
campaign.
love that this one I'm looking at here. I love that wizard on the left side.
Oh, this guy right here?
Yeah.
This is my Dracula. Yeah, he's going to be my big
Oh, that's
baddie in the next
great.
book. Do you see do
Wow.
you see the dragon on his chest? That symbol?
Yeah, yeah. I love his light
Hammer and
eyes.
sickle.
Oh man.
You see it? It's a hammer and sickle dragon.
Oh, it's Aaron Sickle. Oh
And
yeah.
then we've got our swastika right there on his belt because he's a socialist
Whoa.
communist villain. I'm making Dracula a communist and socialist. And then this is
That
based
sounds
on the
perfect.
golem from Jewish, folk tales. And
Right?
this character's name is going to be called. His name is Bromstone. He's the stone of Abraham, and he's basically New Testament, Old Testament. This is some Leviticus stuff right here. Like
Hmm.
somebody's going down, and so he's like my Old Testament meets Death Dealer, and his shield is like kind of like the Ark of the Covenant in Raiders. Shoots out souls of
Oh
fallen
yeah. Yeah,
soldiers of
you
God,
mentioned it before. Wild.
and they go back in. So that's what I say, man.
Wild.
We gotta just, dude. There's a little nod. There's some nods to Fantasia, in here, and of
Yeah, I
course,
almost see like the Magnola stuff in there,
dude.
Like that kind of crazy
What's so
monster.
funny is he's the only person that I can honest to God say I'm not influenced by, and not out of anything other than. But it's so fascinating because I guess I must because of Frazetta, man. I steal from Frazetta.
Well, that's what Magnola's taken from Frazetta too.
I
So
know that's
I
why.
mean that
Yeah.
there's the thing is when you're doing a strong graphic with good stark
Mhm.
shadows and stuff, you're going to be drawing sort of the same image. So then there's Gene Colan there too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh god, yeah,
It's
Gene
the
Colan.
it's a dynamic realism you're going to be picking up on
Gene
for sure.
Colan is the man. Like
Oh,
he's
he's so good.
just. But look at what we can do, guys. Look at what we can create. And this character is much like the character in the myth, or the folktale, I should say, because it's newer than a myth. Has got in Hebrew written on his head. He's got Emet, truth, on his head. So there's a black and white silent German film called Der Golem, and that was sort of like a fun jumping off point for this book. It goes crazy places. Dracula, all of that stuff. But the first book has my Nosferatu, my Lovecraftian, mad Arab Al-Hazred type character, as he was known. And it kind of delves into, it's very influenced by Nosferatu as a silent film. And I have the greatest Nosferatu figure of all time right here by NECA, which, holy cow, did they nail that likeness, man.
Yeah.
But it's like this next book's getting influenced by Solomon Kane, and Razor Fist turned me on to Solomon Kane, so I've been looking at Solomon
Oh
Kane
yeah.
stuff.
Solomon Kane.
What a great storyteller, man!
Yeah,
Plus I got
there's a lot of Solomon Kane just on YouTube. You can audiobook kind of.
recognize this.
Yeah, the rough work.
I got this book
That
near me
sounds
too, man. Yeah, that's the stuff that me. I mean, I'm influenced by. I mean, I look at stuff like this and I just think, God, the problem with Frazetta is you really got to be careful what you show Frazetta's stuff. But just looking at things like this,
Why?
man,
What?
You know, because nudity.
Wha- Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
showing this on your stream. I flipped through 5 pages and I'm like, can't show any of those. But you know,
Yeah.
stuff like this is like these are total like it's not even like he does how many paintings? Like there's the Mars paintings, right? How many paintings has he done of somebody holding up a sword that influenced the Star Wars poster, holding up a sword with a planet behind it?
Yeah.
Like I'm always going to that's always going to be something that I
Well,
do
it's a
because
triangle composition, and that's
yep,
traditional, and it's a strong composition. That's why you'd use it, you know. It's
I
solid.
just think
It's
I love planets and I love you got to take me off full screen. It's making me nervous.
okay.
Um,
Okay. How do
Let me-
I get us
oh, you switch
back?
yourself back, drag yourself back to that window, and it'll make you yeah. If you drag your small image over, there we go. We're good to go. And so it's like isn't that cool? It took me forever to figure that out. But it's I look at this stuff and I just go, there's like you look behind me, you're gonna see some Frazettas. You're gonna see Dave Stevens over here. This is one of my cat painting, my hang in there acrylic cat painting. I wanted to create the ultimate hang in there cat painting with tigers and waves and all this craziness. You've got 1989 Batman. Todd signed a poster to me, and then an original piece of artwork Todd McFarlane gave me when I was 14. And it's like, but you can see all of my influences. You got King Kong, Godzilla, Guillermo del Toro, Solomon Kane, Blade, the Universal monsters. I've got all these prints that I got down in Universal. They're kind of retro new prints. Creature from the Black Lagoon, The Mummy, Dracula. I mean, there's so much stuff, so much awesome, work and things
Yeah,
we
you
can
got a
do.
cool room, man.
Dude, it's a pile of crap. It's terrible. I've got this French Models magazine from what year is this from? 35 cents from I think it was 1930 something. And it's got what's her name in it? I can't believe I'm blanking on her name. From the Thin Man movies, super famous. Myrna Loy posed in that when she was starting out. This is, speaking of things I love, this is a postcard showing what the actual original Sleepy Hollow Bridge looked like that he was writing about. So this is from Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah,
This
why have I seen
postcard.
that? I thought I saw that. Can I make this any
Oh, I posted
bigger?
it. I'm sure I posted it online.
Wait
You
a
might have
minute.
seen it when it was online. But I ordered this on eBay. It's from 1911 is when this postcard was sent. It's postmarked.
Oh, wow.
And this is the bridge. This is the actual Headless Horseman Sleepy Hollow Bridge. It even says that underneath it on this postcard. It was not a covered bridge. This is what it looked
Yeah,
like.
why did they make it into a cover? Is it Disney that did
It's
that,
so
or
cool because it looks good, right? Because covered bridges weren't in that part because it was only bigger places in New York would have that kind of thing, and they had bigger bridges. But that's much more of a Vermont thing. But yeah. So when they did the action figure, and this kind of blew my mind. Actually, let me grab this because you'll like this because you're drawing of what we're drawing here. See if this works here. So when the company Four Horsemen released their the Headless Horseman action figure, right here. I don't have the figures over there, but they gave a backdrop. If I can find it in here, let's see if I can find it. They had a backdrop for it somewhere. Oh dang! I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it in this box, but anyway, one of the backdrops that they had for it showed the actual Sleepy Hollow Bridge that I just showed you in that postcard. So they clearly did their research. And I was like, holy cow, man, these guys are. Oh yeah, sorry. it's in the box itself where the plastic is. And I don't think there's any way I can make it so you can see. Oh no, you can see it. See the two triangles back there?
Oh, yeah, I can
Right
see it now. Yeah, it
there.
was highly reflective, so I couldn't see, but
Yeah, so
yeah, I
I'm
see
gonna
it now.
rotate it, see if I can get there. It is.
Yeah,
It is.
that's really wild. Yeah.
So they did their research to the point of not doing the covered bridge, which we all know and
Wow.
love. And I went, dang, like that's what it takes, I guess. Like
Yeah.
that was the backdrop for the
You
figure.
know, I don't know if it matters if it's covered or not. It's gonna be scary stuff.
It's
The
awesome.
headless horseman chasing you, you know?
You gotta love it. Yeah, we're going late, but this is what happens, Sean. I'm glad that you're liking the show. So So, guys, hit some ones in the chat. Dan wants us to get together once a week and talk art, and we just as long as it's random and meandering, and we have a timer to stop us.
Yeah, I'm getting tired.
I
Actually,
think that's all we gotta do.
I'm gonna cut this short now, but
Absolutely, man.
my voice is starting to get a little raspy.
Me too, man. It's 3 here, man. It's crazy. It's got to be 2 o'clock there, right?
Oh, it's 3 here. I'm on Eastern time.
Oh, I thought you were on Central, but I guess you're over more east. That's funny.
Yeah, just made it in there. I think Chicago. So Detroit's in the Eastern, and then Chicago.
There it
That's
is.
the
Yeah.
hour. So, all right, man. Let's end this thing. But I appreciate you showing up. It was great. I got some
Of course, brother.
inspiration. That's for sure. I'm gonna look at this Luke's guy's work and
Luc de
stuff.
Machelier.
We gotta do a show on. We gotta do just a show on him, man.
Yeah, man. We could
That'd be
just
great.
paint and draw and do whatever, man. I was watching you draw earlier today, man. It was cool.
Okay, yeah,
Gonna
I
have fun.
appreciate you guys hanging in with us too. Awesome one and Sean Willie. What does that say?
All you guys, awesome one. Yeah,
Well,
thank you
that's
guys.
yeah, and Green
Green Laser.
Laser. Yeah, mainly you guys. It was
Yep.
Mike
Mike
likes
likes
tacos
tacos.
was here.
Edwin is here. Rocky. Sequential Treasures is here. Thank you guys for being here. Sleeping
Wait,
Psychopath.
Central Treasures. I don't see him in the.
I'm scrolling up in the comments from inside StreamYard. Maybe that's it. Two brother was in here. Yep. And says, now I'm a beginner drawer. And where is it? Yep, I'm your subscriber. There you go. So
Why don't I
subscribe to the
see
channel.
Sequential
John's
Treasures?
Longbox is here. Toshiro is here. Good to see you, Toshiro. All of you guys. Thank you for coming in, man. And yeah, guys, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure
Oh,
you
there's
ring the
Rocky. Yeah.
notifications. Because Jan's always got something cool cooking up, and we're going to be having some fun.
Yeah.
God knows why. We'll just do it because we do it. We love
Yeah,
it.
it's great.
Right?
It's great to I say get online. We all inspire each other to do work. Maybe even crack the whip a little bit,
Yeah. Straight out of Grosse Point, y'all.
Yes, we have this very snobby Gross Pointer.
That's
The
right.
elite
No.
rich
And we're in
people.
Grosse Point, but we're close to 8 Mile.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Just the nicer
We
side.
live in the slums of Grosse Pointe Woods.
Yeah, the slums of Grosse Point Woods, man. That's what it was. Oh my God, the mean streets.
Oh my gosh. All right. We'll see everyone. Take it easy, be good, and we'll see you next time. Bye.